Okay, there we go. I don't know why. For some reason it went to like the default speakers or whatever. Alright, let's see if that... Alright, there we go. I can actually hear... I can actually hear it. Alright. Yep, that worked. Alrighty, so what is going on, everyone? DeAndre Hawk 7 here, and we're back with some more shiny hunting in I almost said Sword and Shield for some reason. In Legends ZA. So yeah. We didn't get any shinies last time I streamed, I should say. I was gonna say last night, but last time I streamed, we didn't get any shinies. So in this stream, I was pretty consistent until like I literally just passed out. Like I got tired and just like went to bed afterward. Like I abruptly ended it and just went to bed. Like that's how tired I was. So hopefully now that I'm more energized, especially with my delicious drink here, we let's see if we're a little lucky when it comes to finding a shiny. What's going on, Luke? Welcome to the stream. Let me go ahead and minimize. Yeah, let me go ahead and minimize that. There we go. Okay. Let's go check on these Beldum. Okay. Nothing shiny here yet. Eventually we'll get a shiny. I just don't know when. What's the drink? It's from Dutch Bros. It's called it's a candied cherry rebel. And for those of you who don't know, Dutch Bros is basically like this little... It's like a little drink place where you can get like coffee. They mainly do coffee and stuff like that, but you can also do like... you can also do stuff like lemonades and... energy drinks, which are called Rebels, sodas, and stuff like that. It's pretty good. Very sweet if you're trying to watch your sugar, though. Especially me. Which is why I always get it every now and then. I don't really get it, like, all the time. Like, I get it, like, every now and then. Okay, maybe not every now and then, but I at least get it, like, every other... Like, every other day, usually. But this week, it's my first time. Like, today is my first time this week getting it, so... And Rebels are basically just like little energy drinks. But like a lot better than like energy drinks like Monster and stuff like that. For some reason that Beldum really doesn't want to respawn. I don't know why. You saw someone do a trick where you teleport back and forth into a teleporter to despawn and respawn to Beldum to try and get a shiny. Yeah, I see that, but I like this method better of just going for, you know, just running back and forth just to get the Beldum. And I also saw a video where someone said, ooh, Alpha Beldum would be cool if that was shiny. I still need a shiny Alpha. Still don't have one of those. But I saw a video that basically explained that sometimes the teleporter... It really depends on the teleporter. Because some teleporters, they don't respawn you. Like, they don't despawn the Pokemon, essentially. Because they're not far enough to despawn. So I just kind of... I mean, there is also... For some reason, that Beldum didn't want to respawn. To be fair, though, there is also... There is also another method that I saw where... Basically, like, the Beldum... Like, you wait until, like, the Beldum spawn. And then... You, like, teleport back to the entrance. And then you just go back there. Would be great if that... What's it called? Noivern was shiny. I already have a shiny Noivern. So that wouldn't really matter. And plus, Noivern doesn't have a Mega, so it would be kind of pointless for my eventual shiny Mega Evolution army that I am currently building. Hey, what's going on, Eddie? Welcome to the stream. You've tried that method and got 6 Noiverns, an Electrike, 2 Houndooms, an Arbok, but no Beldum. The teleport method? The teleport method, you mean? You leave me alone, Beldum. So yeah, I'm kind of just... I thought that was an alpha Magnetric. I was like, oh. I forget that Magnetric has a Mega Evolution. I guess it's because I don't really like Magnetric's Mega Evolution. So I always just like kind of erase it from my brain. Oh, alpha. Come on, I just need one alpha. I just need like one shiny alpha. That would be great. But yeah, I'm gonna like change which Pokemon I check on like every... Wait a minute. No. There was a method. Yeah. Hold on. I think I know what method you were talking about. Oh, I went the wrong way. Hold on. If I go into the other room... Wait. I think I know what method you're talking about, actually, Luke. Hold on. I'm misremembering. Yeah, it's like kind of where this... Oh, no. Wrong one. Over here. So yeah, you teleport in here, and then you basically just go back and forth. And then eventually, not only do you have a chance of getting that Houndoom shiny, you also basically reset everything in the radius. So like the Noivern that spawns over here could become shiny. I don't think it is. It's not. So yeah, and then you just keep going back and forth, and then you just kind of wait and see. So let's see if we get lucky. Look at those fools over here. I mean, really, if Electrike was bold enough, he could kind of just shimmy his way over here. You've been trying to make a Pokemon infection with the Legends ZA setting, but it goes down a different path than Rogue Mega Evolution. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean infection? Also, where is my... I need to clean this off of my iPad. There's like a weird speck that's like really bothering me right now. There we go. That's how you got 6 Noiverns, yeah. Yeah, I was misremembering what... I was misinterpreting what what Luke was talking about. Oh, what was that? My OBS just randomly flashed green. Houndoom would also be cool because I do really need a shiny Houndoom for my eventual army. Although, very hot take, I don't know why do I keep going back and forth? I don't need to do that. I just need to click A. It's literally just press A. Oh, freaking Alpha Houndoom. If only it was a shiny. If only it was a shiny. If only I had a turbo controller so I could literally just like play this hands-free. Just sit back in my chair, relax. But you know, I like to actively do stuff and I don't mind pressing A. I like to actively do stuff while I'm streaming anyway, or while I'm shiny hunting anyway, hence why I'm live streaming these. I wouldn't do these, I would not shiny hunt on my own fruition. Oh, I didn't even check to see if that was shiny or not. But yeah, but also update on my Pokémon region. I actually finished the regional bird, or I guess early route birds, because regional bird is kind of a weird statement. But yeah, I finished that evolution line, so I'm working on the early route mammal, or the early route rodents, as some people call them, even though a lot of them aren't really rodents. But that's just my biological, that's just like my whole biology nerdism. You know, my biological nerdiness just kind of going haywire. And then after that, I'm gonna work on like the plant Pokemon. I'm basically working on all the Route 1 Pokemon, since it has been a while since the last Pokémon episode. I am considering doing like live streams of just me drawing my Pokémon as well, but I get really distracted because I can never finish a design. I've never once finished a design. You have an idea for a mammal, a hedgehog, nice. I already have a mammal in mind for mine. Have you seen those infection? Well, maybe not, but basically if you've seen the Super Smash Infection AU, it's basically a zombie apocalypse. Yeah, I've never heard of that actually. Yeah, I've never seen anything about that. Maybe I've heard of it. I don't know, but a hedgehog is kind of similar to what I was thinking for like the, what is it called? For the regional rodent. But it's going to be more of like a, oh lord. That alpha scared me. But it's going to be more of like a porcupine. It's going to be a regional, it's going to be a Pika clone that actually evolves, because in my opinion, I think most of the, I mean, if you guys like the Pika clones, that's fine. I just think that most of them are lame, especially, you know, Pokemon like Minun and Plusle. Or like Pachirisu, where there's nothing really interesting about them. I mean, Emolga's cool. I do like Emolga. It's kind of cool if you're into it, but yeah, it's like an apocalypse gotcha. Like, I honestly think Pichu should have never existed, in my opinion, and they should have given us the Gorachu that we all were robbed from. We still don't even have like an official design for Gorachu. I think the only thing that we have is a back sprite, and that's it. I think we have a back sprite and an official cry, but we don't have like an official design for Gorachu. Unfortunately, I would have loved to see that. What's essentially a bigger Raichu with horns and fangs. That just sounds cool to me. This man said, buy me shoes now. Buddy, you need me to send you a link to a job application? Bro just hopped on the stream and said, buy me shoes now. Like, what? Yeah, +1 Minun are probably the lamest of them all. I genuinely don't like them. Pachirisu, I mean, I do like that it's a squirrel, since squirrels are some of my favorite animals, but there's nothing really interesting about Pachirisu. I mean... like, literally does the same stuff that Pikachu can do. And that's really my problem with a lot of the... That's really the problem I have with a lot of the Pikachu clones. They're really just... You know, there's no interesting lore about them. They literally do the same thing that Pikachu can do. And this is coming from someone who actually loves electric types, you know? I like it when electric types can do... I love it when electric types can actually... Like, they actually do different things with their biology. But then you have, like, the Pikachu clones that are basically just taking up space. Like, they all... There's no interesting bit about them. They all just do the same thing that Pikachu can do. So it's kind of like, what's the point of having a Pikachu clone? He ain't buying nothing. That's what I'm saying. Bro said I'll call the slammer on you over some dang shoes. Like, what? Buddy, go to your nearest, like, shoe department or something. You'll find some shoes for like 30 bucks. Like what? Emolga I actually do like, again, because, like, it's based on a flying squirrel. Again, I love squirrels, so of course I'm a little biased. And it also kind of reminds me of, like, at least its design kind of reminds me of a superhero. Ooh. That kind of made me have a interesting idea for a Pikachu clone for a Fakemon region that I might build. But, yeah, I always thought it would have been cool if Emolga had an evolution that was basically themed as, you know, that was basically a superhero, while Emolga would act as its evolved form's psychic. Or I said psychic, sidekick. That would have been cool. And Dedenne, I mean, honestly, they did start getting a little more interesting with the fact that they started adding secondary typings with them. But, I mean, Dedenne, I mean, it really has no reason to being a fairy type. Like, there's nothing in its Pokedex entries. Like, Togedemaru, or not Togedemaru, Dedenne is just so boring to me. Pawmi is too similar to Pichu and Pomo, and Pomo's too close to Pikachu, and Pommet is just stupid. Now, I do like Pawmi. I do think Pawmi is cute, but I honestly think that Pomo shouldn't have existed, and it should have just evolved into Pommet, in my opinion. Like, I honestly don't know why they made it a 3-stage evolution of all things. And I do find a whole, like, instead of using the electric cheeks to build up electricity, they store electricity in the little palms, because I do get that it's supposed to be like a defibrillating machine, like a defibrillator. So that's somewhat cool, but other than that, I don't really care for the Palmy line. And I know a lot of people, I know that's gonna shock some people because I use a Palmet in my team for the Scarlet and Violet battles and stuff like that, but that's only because it fits the niche for my team. Not really. It's the same thing with Terapagos. Like, I don't really care for Terapagos all that much. Not saying I don't like Terapagos, I do, but you know, it's not like a top favorite. Like, I wouldn't really consider Terapagos a top favorite like Skeledirge or Palafin. Like, what if Emaga's like Palafin and give it an ability like Zero to Hero? I don't really like that, because then Palafin kind of loses its uniqueness. I kind of like when Pokemon have like their own signature ability. One pet peeve that I've always had with Pokemon that have like a signature ability is when a later Pokemon comes out and then it's like, oh yeah, let's just give that Pokemon the same ability as this totally unique Pokemon. So yeah, like, the reason I love Palafin is, well, not only is it because it's a dolphin, and dolphins are like one of my favorite animals of all time, it's because the whole Zero to Hero concept is so unique to it. So if they ever gave it to like another Pokemon, it's like, I feel like that Pokemon would lose its entire uniqueness. But you know, that's just me being biased because, again, Palafin is like my second favorite Pokemon of all time, so. But yeah, my issue with Dedenne mainly is that it's, one, it just looks like a baby Raichu. Two, it doesn't even look like it would be part fairy, and it doesn't have anything in its Pokedex entries that relate to it being fairy. And all of its Pokedex entries literally just sound like scrapped Pikachu Pokedex entries. I don't know, I just find that really boring. So I never really cared for Dedenne. Togedemaru, I do think Togedemaru's cute, but again, it's just another Pokemon that I don't really care about. I do like that they started at least adding secondary typings to the Pika clones. But, and then Morpeko, I don't know, I don't really care for Morpeko. I don't hate it, but, you know. Like, I do get the whole, like, it has, like, the... Alright. Alright, since you... Hold up. Make sure I don't... Alright. Let's go ahead and do that. Since bro just wanted to spam all that. Like, I don't know what that person thought the outcome was gonna be. Like, just spamming all of that. Hey, what's going on, Ephraim? Welcome to the stream. Let's see. How are you? Just started hunting for a Drampa with the reset method. Been on a dry streak before this, so hopefully your favorite old man is nice to you. Well, I hope you get Drampa, because I do think that Drampa has a pretty nice shiny, and I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Hope all is well for you as well. Just kind of hoping for any shiny. It would be cool to get Beldum, even though I already have like 2 shiny Metagrosses sitting in home. But, you know, if I can get one in here, that would be nice as well. Because I do plan on using Metagross on like my main ranked team. Because, you know, you do need a steel type since they're allowing Xerneas in these ranked battles. I don't know who decided that it was a good idea to just include Xerneas already. I hope we get some more Pokemon Champions news though. But yeah, continuing on my tangent for, could also use Scolipede. You could, but Metagross is just honestly better. Scolipede is good too, but yeah. Hey, appreciate you subscribing, Ephraim. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it Ephraim or Ephraim? But yeah, appreciate you subscribing. I humbly welcome you to the Chill Army. So unfortunately, I can't show that on the screen anymore since, you know, I'm doing a multi stream to both YouTube and Twitch kind of has rules against showing alerts to like other platforms, but at least you get to see your name in the comments. Or in the chat, I should say. Beldum was so nice to you, showed up before you were even sure it was spawning. Nice. Hopefully I'm lucky today. I plan on doing like a 4-hour stream, so. Oh, for a split second I didn't even see the Noivern. Alright. So I'm actually gonna go to this little entrance here, and I'm gonna check to see if the Beldum spawned. Or obviously they spawned. I'm gonna see if they're shiny. Wait. No, you're not shiny. I don't know why I always get so lost in Lysander Labs. Oh boy. Alright, let's go check on another great shiny. Let me get that too. You can't get me. Oh, yes you can. Yes, you can. Okay, it is Ephraim. Okay, you could also do Nelson. I think Ephraim sounds cooler. Yeah, I think Ephraim sounds cool. That's actually a dope name. All right. Wait. Oh my goodness, You know what's funny? I could have just teleported. What I could have done was just teleport back and forth. Like, I could have just teleported all the way here from the entrance. You're done with a bit of part 1 of your Pokemon ZA infection. Does anyone want to hear it? I mean, if you want to talk about it. It gives me something to read while I shiny hunt. Oh boy. I do hope I get a shiny Honedge. That would be great. Oh, oh. I like how the double-blade doesn't even bother. Shiny Alpha Arbok would be fire. You might go for it yourself. Might go for it yourself if you get bored with the Drampa resets. Yeah, I'm doing this thing where like every 30 minutes I kind of like change who I hunt for. You know, so that way I don't just get bored doing the same thing over and over and over again. You just lost your how did you lose your pencil in such a short time? But yeah, going back on my whole what do you call it? Like my whole tangent on the Pika clones. Yeah, Morpeko don't really. Yeah, Morpeko just like I'm indifferent to it. Like I don't really like. I don't necessarily love it, but I don't hate it. Like he's just kind of there. And then I already said how I felt about Pommy and its evolutions. You're sitting in your bed. I mean, still, how do you lose your pencil sitting in one place? But yeah, I already went about how I felt about the Pommy line. I do like that we finally got an evolution. Wait, where am I going? I do like that we finally got an evolution for like they finally did what I've been wanting them to do for like ages, and they gave a Pika clone an evolution finally. But my issue, it fell through the crack beside your bed. Oof. But I don't know. I just think the way they implemented Pomo and Pommet was just kind of poor in my opinion. And honestly, like the Let's Go, I just never understood the whole why you have to evolve Pomo through the Let's Go method. They could have easily made like, I think they could have easily given it some like signature fighting move, and then you're like, oh yeah, just use Pomo while it can use this move, and then it'll evolve into Pommet. You know, kind of like what they did with Girafarig and Dunsparce. How they have to, you know, you have to level them up. You have to level them up while they know Twin Beam and Hyper Drill, respectively. Also, I didn't see what you said about the. I didn't see what Luke said about the Emolga, the hypothetical Emolga evolution that I was like talking about. So let me go ahead and scroll up and read that real quick. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I love how like they don't actually pursue me when I come in here. They just kind of leave me alone. It's like, all right, we'll let you live for now. Let me see. Maybe just changing up. Okay. Maybe just change an ability for the evolved Emolga for what it does and make it more like a villain to Palafin. I mean, still, like I said, I would just like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't mind another superhero mon. In fact, I think we could use more Pokemon inspired by like superheroes and stuff like that. But just don't give it the whole zero to hero thing. I mean, I did see, unless it's implemented differently. Oh, 2 alphas. But yeah, like I did see someone like make like basically like a villain shark counterpart to what's his name, to Palafin, and they basically gave it like the zero to hero ability, but I think they just called it something different. But still, it's like, But still, like, officially, I would prefer if Palafin just, you know, kept that uniqueness and being the only Pokemon with it. You know, kind of like how Mimikyu is the only Pokemon that has the disguise ability. Because it just makes, or Zorua and Zoroark have being the only Pokemon with the illusion abilities, because it just makes sense for those, it makes sense for those Pokemon to have those abilities, for only those Pokemon to have those abilities. If you give it to any other Pokemon, it just, they lose their uniqueness. Oh, how I would love a shiny Honedge right now. Are they still chasing after me? Yeah, he's coming my way. He's coming my way. You hate Imago with a passion. When you were a kid, you couldn't beat Black because of the stupid electric gym leader spamming Volt Switch with 2 Imagas. I don't know how I did it, and I wish I recorded it so that way people could actually believe me, but I somehow managed to destroy... I actually managed to destroy Elisa with a Samurott. I wish I had a capture card or something at the time. Like, I wish I was, like, streaming that at the time, because that would have been such an epic moment. That was such an epic moment to capture. Houndoom, leave me alone. Shiny. Never mind. That Houndoom really wants to destroy me. Can you not get stuck on... Can you not get stuck on a computer? But yeah, contrary to other people, I never really had many problems with... I never had... Now, why are you coming in here? Nope. I never had any issues with Elisa, really, in my beyond, or upon my first playthrough. But next time I'm gonna play with, next time I do, like, a white playthrough on the channel, I'll probably use Snivy. Yeah, I'll use Snivy. But it'll have to be on, like, an emulator, because I don't have a capture card for my 2DS. And I'm not about to pay, like, $200 to get it, you know, to get it modded for that. I mean, it's already modded. I'm not gonna pay like over $200 to get a whole capture card installed when there's apps that can do that just fine. Let's see. Luke logs: after arriving in Lumiose, I saw a girl and her brother, aka Tawny and Urbane. They wanted me to star in an ad for a hotel called Hotel Z at the start of the game, but you stop here. Oh, is that all you cooked up so far? Okay. Hopefully, the swords aren't so hyper aggressive this time around. It's like every time I went to the room, it's like they were immediately about to destroy me. Oh lord. Oh, I keep saying shiny. Alpha Honedge. Ooh, if that Alpha Honedge turns into a shiny eventually, that would be great. You have more, it just won't let you write more. Gotcha. Hey, what's going on, Slayer? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Can you not get stuck on the doorway there? Oh lord. I love it when the Pokemon kind of give up after they I love when the Pokemon just give up after they... You gonna come after me, or... No. He just gave up. I love it when when the alphas give up and they just don't want to run anymore. They just don't After like a specific threshold, they just like give up and go back to where they were hiding. They're like all right, he's out of our territory, which I guess is how real animals that's really how real animals act. How most territorial animals act, at least. They typically only attack if you're a little too close to their territory and you don't back down and leave. But there are some animals that just attack without, you know, even when you don't provoke them. I think it's the sloth bear or another bear. It's either the sloth bear or the sun bear that does that. I think it's the sun bear. And tigers too. They're not really like territorial. They're just they're not really like territorial. They're just really aggressive. Like even if you're not like provoking them at all. The girl and her brother introduced themselves as Tawny and Urbane, and then they introduce you to the other members. Lita, I think you meant to type Lita, not Linda, and Naveen, and can you not get stuck on doorways? And told you to choose a Pokemon between Chikorita, Tepig, and Oshawott, or not Oshawott, Totodile. Imagine Samurott gets both a regional variant and a Mega Evolution. How do we feel about Hisui and Samurott? I actually quite like it. I don't know if I like it as much as the regular Samurott, but it's still cool. Although I don't think there's really any like like how Decidueye, correct me if I'm wrong, but like unlike Decidueye and Typhlosion, I don't think we really get any lore as to why Samurott became part dark in Hisui, which is one of my least favorite things about it. Like if you're gonna make a regional evolution, like I want to know how, like why did it evolve this way? But dude, Snivy absolutely needs something. I don't care if it's a regional form. I don't care if it's a Gigantamax form. I don't care if it's a Mega Evolution. Serperior deserves something. And I don't care what anyone says. Listen, as much as I love the fact that Chikorita shines in Legends ZA, I honestly think that Snivy should have been the grass starter. Especially, since it's been confirmed that the entire line is based off of, French nobility. Oh lord. I was sipping my drink. I was looking him dead in the eyes too, while he was just like floating towards me. So I ended up choosing Totodile, and they ended up telling me about the blackouts and said they were going to investigate the blackouts with the local detective, Emma. I understand why you have a specific amount of like characters you can type in like a live stream and stuff like that, but you could give us a couple more characters than that, YouTube. But yeah, I think a lot of people expected me to like Mega Zeraora because simply because it's an electric type, but I do have my critiques about certain electric types. My issue with Zeraora is that with like not just Mega Zeraora, just Zeraora as a whole, is that there's really no lore as to why it's a mythical, you know? And it's why I don't really like most modern legendaries and mythicals with like very few exceptions, because it's either that they're over designed, or it's like why are these legendaries, why are these mythical? Like Meloetta, for example, like I don't even think we have any like lore that Meloetta's even about why Meloetta's even a mythical, you know? Like if you ask me, I think Meloetta could be a regular Pokemon. Same thing, it's the same way it's the same thing I feel about Zeraora. Like there's no lore. Now granted, I'm not expecting them to give us any type of lore of like, oh yeah, make them where it's like give us some like cool legend about how like their punches can shatter entire islands in half or something. Like I'm not asking that. I'm just saying like what exactly makes Zeraora a mythical other than the fact that it's like, well, I guess mythical does I guess mythical can just translate to just being extremely rare. Kind of like how Zarude isn't exactly like a god or anything like that. It's just a really rare Pokemon to find. But still, I actually surprisingly love Zarude. Well, I don't love it, but I like it. It's actually my favorite monkey Pokemon out of all of them. Well, I don't know. It's kind of a tie between Zarude and Infernape. I decided to tag along, but along the way, we saw this weird Pokemon. Show you what it looks like on the next page, the image of the weird Pokemon. It looked like a Bunnelby. I'm guessing, like, since it's like, I'm guessing it's supposed to be like an infected Bunnelby. Ooh, I need that shiny Arbok. But yeah, like going over every single like mythical Pokemon, I think my praise for the legendaries and mythicals just like it dwindles down as we go on. Again, like for like especially for generation 4 and 5, because for gens 4 and 5, like you guys will notice I am very negative towards them. Like there's a couple that I do like I think Kyurem is an awesome legendary. Giratina is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. Well, base Kyurem as well. You know, Giratina and Kyurem are some of my favorite Pokemon of all time. At least base form Kyurem. I despise black and white Kyurem. And, you know, Genesect is a pretty cool mythical Pokemon. And it makes sense why Genesect would be either legendary or mythical, because, you know, it's like, you know, it's supposed to be like a unique, one-of-a-kind Pokemon, you know? Alright, what's going on? Dinkin' Bop's Mama. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Just doing some shiny hunting here. But yeah, like, you know, like the legendary, I guess you can say like the legendary birds, it's like there's really no, they're not really like legendary in the fact that they're Like, I think a lot of people will misinterpret what the term legendary means. Like, legendary doesn't always have to be, like, godlike or anything like that. Like, it can be a case of just that Pokemon being extremely rare, you know? Like, only a few of them exist in the world. Hence why there's multiple legendary birds. Which is why I'm able to excuse the legendary birds being legendaries, because, you know, it's basically confirmed. Like, that's why they're legendary. They're just, like, really exclusive. And then Mewtwo, of course. Mewtwo is one of those one-of-a-kind Pokemon again, so of course it would be counted as legendary. And also it's, like, really strong as well. One of the strongest Pokemon ever. Mew I like because it's cute. That's really it. I do like one of the earlier Gen 1 sprites where it's kind of like a weird deformed embryo. I do think that was kind of a cool design, but I also like, you know, the little cat Jerboa Mew as well. And then for the legendary beasts, very hot take, but I actually prefer the shinies over the regular designs, because I feel like the legendary beasts, the problem I have with them is that they're a bit over-designed. I still like them, of course. They're all great designs, you know? But I just feel like the shinies should have been the regular coloration, and the regular coloration, you know, vice versa. The regular coloration should have been the shinies. They just look so much better when they're shiny. And then there's and Lugia. I like them both, you know. I like them both. They have interesting lore that complements each other. So yeah, Ho-Oh and Lugia, I like them. Ah, that's stuck. I wonder if that Houndoom can be shiny. Or not yeah, of course it can be shiny. I wonder if it can be an alpha. I keep getting alpha and shiny mixed up. Oh man, what is going on with me? Okay, I'm gonna give it like 5 more minutes for myself, and then we'll go back to trying to get Beldum to be shiny. But yeah, Ho-Oh and Lugia, I like them. Although I like Lugia a little more than Ho-Oh. Like, Ho-Oh's cool and all, but I like Lugia because it's kind of like, because design-wise, it's like this amalgamation of different animals. Like, it's like part whale, part bird, part dragon, part like plesiosaur and stuff like that. I think that's a cool creature design. And I like how, like, instead of having like traditional wings or fins, it has like these like hand-like, it has like these hand-like structures that it uses to fly. It's so cool. Imagine if the Beldum are shiny when I go back. I hope so. Doing all this running back and forth just for them to not shine. And also I can just go to another area. Like maybe go to like Wild Zone 8 and try to see if I can get myself a shiny Gibble or something. Oh! Answered my question. It can be alpha. Cool. Now if only you could become, let's not get stuck there. Now, if only it can become a shiny Alpha Houndoom, that would be great. The reason I'm obsessed with getting an Alpha is because, well, one, Alphas are just cooler. I think most alpha Pokemon also, like most alpha Pokemon, I feel like their sizes should be the official size. Like alpha, I don't care what anyone says, alpha Aggron should be the official size of Aggron. Like when I look at Aggron, I imagine this giant hulking, you know, metal eating kaiju. You know, that thing should at least be like 7 or 8 feet tall. But that thing is like only like 3 inches taller than the main character. Like Aggron is very puny. But yeah. Oh, I was like, where's Arbok? I didn't kill it. Where'd it go? Arbok said, nah, I quit. But another, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was talking about like my opinion on all of the legendaries. I like Celebi. Celebi is one of my favorite mythical Pokemon. It's not my favorite mythical, but it's one of them. It's very high up there. Which is very ironic because I'm not a big fan of I'm not a big fan of time travel when it comes to media, only because time travel is like a very complicated thing, and it just gives me a headache the more I think about it, and the more people try to scientifically explain time travel to me and stuff like that. Not a big fan of it. Also, I always forget, I can like check in here to see if you can become shiny. Oh gosh. Oh no. Oh no. Run. Retreat. 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 Oh my. He was trying to snipe me. Alright, I'll do one or two more runarounds, and then we'll go back to trying to get our shiny Beldums. Oh! Alpha. Oh, oh! That was kind of scary. That was kind of scary. Alright, I'll do one last run around, and then we can go back to where the Houndoom is. Do that for press A, where we get to press A for 30 minutes. Honestly, that'll be a lot better because that'll give me more time to like actually process my thoughts. But yeah, Celebi was always a cool Pokemon. Although I do think that Celebi should have been one of those Pokemon that was retconned. Like, they could have easily made that thing part fairy. Pokemon, it's not like Pokemon never retcons anything anyway. Like how they retconned the way to evolve Leafeon and Glaceon. Like, I honestly, so if they can retcon the way they evolve, they can very well retcon how you evolve. They can very well retcon how you evolve. Or they can very well retcon shiny, or not shiny. Why I keep putting shiny in front of everything. They could very well retcon, you know, Celebi's typing. They can make it where it's like, oh, we misclassified it as a psychic type, but in reality it's a fairy type. But I guess time traveling could be a bit more of a psychic thing rather than a, I guess that could be more of a psychic attribute than a magical attribute. But people have time traveled. There's time travel spells in like fantasy media. So who's to say that Celebi can't be fairy type? So yeah, I basically just proved my statement. I proved my point. But yeah, Celebi's cool. I just think that it should be fairy instead of psychic. That's just my whole spiel about it. That's my whole shebang. Alright, now Hoenn legendaries. I think I've gone on record where I have nothing but praise for the legendary Titans or the original Reggie trio. Regice is my favorite of the three because I just find a cool, like, I find a hulking giant, you know, ice golem that is so cold that even fire and stuff like that can't even melt it. Pretty cool. And you don't really see a lot of like ice golems. I mean, you see like, I mean, there's stuff like the Abominable Snowman, but those are more like organic creatures. It's very rare in media where you see like an actual being that's just made out of ice, you know? So I always thought that was pretty cool. And also like cryokinesis, you know, the ability to control fire, or not fire, that's pyrokinesis. Cryokinesis, the ability to control ice, has always been one of my favorite abilities in media. So I think Regice is pretty cool. Oh! Hello, Alpha. Hello, Alpha Electrike. So these two can be Alpha. Well, you can be an Alpha. Good to know. Good to know. And if I get a shiny, it'll just stay there. So that would be great. What's another Mon? But oh yeah, I wasn't done talking about the Reggies, but yeah, Regice is my favorite. Regirock is my second favorite. You know, I like the whole bit where if a piece of it breaks off, it will essentially just absorb other rocks to like repair its body. Wait, is it still there? It is still there, okay. So I guess whenever we go to check on like the Hone Edge and stuff like that, that's when it resets, since we're far enough away for it to do that. So yeah, you can really just do this method for 30 minutes and then go check on the other Mons and see if they're shiny or not. Such a cheesy strat. such a cheesy shiny hunting method. I'm not leaving this area until we get one shiny. That's my rule now. Every time we shiny hunt in an area, I need to get at least one shiny before we leave. Man, in retrospect, Registeel was always my least favorite of the three. I don't hate it. I just think, you know, I just find, you know, creatures made out of ice and, you know, I just find golems made out of ice and rocks just more interesting than steel. I do find a weird bit about how, like, Registeel is supposedly made out of some type of metal, like some sort of like organic metal alloy that's not found on Earth pretty cool. I do find that lore a little cool, but other than that, and you know, the fact that, like, you know, despite being like a metallic creature, it can stretch its limbs, you know, Luffy style. So I think that's pretty cool, but other than that, still my least favorite of the three. And then you get to the... Oh yeah, there's also Latias and Latios. I don't know. I'm very mixed on them. Like, there's days where I'm like... oh, these... Like, I used to really like them as a kid. Especially when I first saw the Pokemon Heroes movie. But I'm not a big fan of... I'm not the biggest fan of them now. I still like them, but it's like, why are these legendary, you know? Like, there's really no lore about them in the Pokédex that would make them legendary. And it's implied that there's, like, big colonies of these things, so it's not like they're, like... I don't know, I just always found Latias and Latios really odd. Really odd choices. I feel like they just made them legendary just so they could add a bit more. They can add more legendaries to the Pokédex or whatever. Or maybe that's just me being, you know, maybe that's just me being, you know, stingy. Or not stingy, just like really picky when it comes to what constitutes as a legendary and what doesn't. The Weather Trio, aka Kyogre, Groudon, and Rayquaza. I mean, come on. Those are all awesome Pokemon. I mean, Rayquaza is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time as well. It's just so cool. I do like that Kyogre is based on a, well, at least design-wise, it's based on a killer whale. When most Leviathans... It's funny because whenever you hear about the Leviathan, you know, the biblical creature that Kyogre is based on, it's usually seen as like a giant like sea serpent or whatever. But Leviathans, there are portrayals of Leviathans, like in other sources of media, there are portrayals of Leviathans as whales, you know? They use whales to represent Leviathans in some cultures, so I think that's pretty cool. Groudon is probably my least favorite of the three because it's kinda... One, its proportions are a little weird. You know, like, when you look at Groudon, it's like, okay, this thing cannot walk. Like, this thing should not be able to walk. I get it. It's a fictional creature. It's a fictional creature, but I don't know. Like, I get it. This is the same universe that gave us living sludge and possessed Pokeballs and stuff like that, but at least make it somewhat believable, you know what I mean? At least make the biology somewhat believable. But Groudon is still cool. I still like Groudon. Especially its portrayal as a behemoth. It's supposed to be a representative of the biblical creature known as the behemoth, where it's usually seen as like this giant, like, mammoth, or like this giant, not mammoth, but it's usually portrayed as like this giant hippo-like creature. Like, it's usually portrayed as like mammalian, but they decided to just straight up make it Godzilla. So I think that's cool. And then you have Rayquaza, who's objectively just the best one of the three in my opinion. I mean, I never met anyone who disliked Rayquaza. I mean, it's based on an Eastern dragon, which are honestly my favorite types of dragons. Like, as opposed to Western dragons, which are basically just big lizards with wings on their back. I do like that we finally have a proper Eastern dragon. Well, I mean, I guess we had Dragonair and Gyarados, but, you know. We have a proper legendary... Actually, our first legendary Pokemon that's based on a dragon is an Eastern Dragon Pokemon, and I think that's actually really cool. I love the shade of green they use, and I love the yellow highlights it has. Beautiful. and it's badass. I mean, and it also has one of the most satisfying shinies ever. One of my favorite shinies ever, Shiny Rayquaza. And then for mythicals, Deoxys, again, another one of my like top 100 favorite Pokemon of all time. I just find the concept of an alien virus that gains sentience and now classifies as an official Pokemon in the Pokedex database is just so cool. It's also one of the few Pokemon where we start getting like multiple forms for one Pokemon. But I do like that its I do like that its like arms can morph into like these tentacle little tendrils or whatever. I do think that's pretty cool. I love it when you know, characters and media can do that, where like they can freely turn their hand into little tentacles, and that's one of my favorite portrayals. As much as I give so much flack to the Ben 10 reboot, I do like that Vilgax can actually just untangle his arms into like these like sharp little tentacles. I think that's pretty cool. That's a big Houndoom. I think it was a medium-sized one. Or, well, I guess that would just be regular Houndoom, huh? I don't know, it looked a little bigger than usual. I guess it was just the perspective. Like, it was maybe a little closer to me, so it looked bigger. But that one looks really... Unless these are just really small Houndoom that are spawning. That could be the case. That could be the case. Yeah. And then you have Jirachi. I actually really like Jirachi as well. Honestly, it's another one of those Pokemon where you could easily slap the fairy typing onto them. Like I could very well see Jirachi, you know, as a fairy type rather than a psychic type. But I guess they kind of have used psychic as like the alien or like the cosmic type, which is why I'm always like, I always kind of roll my eyes whenever people are like, oh, we could use a cosmic type, when psychic kind of is seen as like the mysterious kind of like, you know, it's used for Pokemon that are like to have like mysterious ties to space, like Starmie, Deoxys, Elgium, you know. So I can get why it's, and Jirachi, since Jirachi does come from space, I believe. So I could see, ooh, that's another great idea. That's another great video idea. Like basically just going over every single Pokemon that comes from space. Oh my goodness, that's such a great idea. And I just gave someone like, ooh. No, I'm not gonna say it out loud because I know there's gonna be someone who like hears the idea and then they're gonna like steal it. Next week you're gonna see like the video idea. That's one of my least favorite things about like saying these ideas out loud, because like Next thing you know, like someone who's like just lurking hears that idea and then they do the video first. And you're just like, dang. So now if I do the video, people are going to be like, oh no, you stole that idea. So yeah, I'm going to keep that idea to myself. Because you already know, I have a tendency to say things out loud without thinking. That's just how I think. I kind of just have little conversations, you know, inside of my brain, but then I like speak those thoughts out loud. That's just how I think. But yeah, I think Gen 3 was when like I stopped giving such positive praise to legendaries. Like Gen 4, there's so many legendaries that I just don't like. Like, for example, the Lake Guardians. I don't like them. They are some of the worst legendaries we've gotten. They are literally just plot devices for the climax. Like, there's no special... I mean, I guess you can have like the special... Yeah, they have the special lore that they are... You know, they were created specifically by Arceus, you know, alongside the creation trio. But other than that, there's nothing interesting about them. And also, I don't really like the whole lore with like, you know, them like Azelf giving, you know, with Azelf, Mesprit, and Yuxi giving humans the concept of willpower, the concept of emotions, and the concept of knowledge, you know? So you're telling me that all humans were scared all of a sudden? Kyogre rocks though. Well, I already went over the Gen 3 legendaries. Basically, my sum up is Kyogre's pretty cool. I like that they... Also, welcome to the stream. I'm just gonna call you... I'm gonna call you Ale. I'm gonna call you Ale. I don't know how your name's supposed to be pronounced, but I'll call you Ale. But yeah, Kyogre's cool, you know. I like that they didn't just go for giant sea serpent to represent the Leviathan Pokemon, and instead they actually used a whale, which I think back then they used to call whales Leviathans. Like back in like the medieval times, they would refer to Leviathans as whales and stuff like that. I believe. Don't quote me on that. You know, it's kind of like the same case with how, you know, how Christopher Columbus referred to manatees and stuff like that. Oh, Alex. Okay. Okay, so your name is Alex. All right, I'll call you then. I'll call you that then. But what is it called? Yeah, I like that they didn't just go for a generic sea monster, for a generic sea dragon, but at least I guess because Gyarados already existed, they didn't want to do that, so they had to choose Kyogre. Rayquaza is my favorite of the three. Like I said, I prefer like Eastern dragons as opposed to like the typical Western dragons. Like I always, you know, I've always liked the more serpent-looking dragons as opposed to like the generic lizard with bat wings. Not to say that those dragons aren't cool, they are, but yeah. How's the hunt going so far? No shiny yet, but I'm kind of just alternating. So right now I'm kind of going for Beldum. I'm just doing the respawn method, and then I'll check to see if there's any shinies that spawned in the area, and then I'm gonna go to the other area where like you find the Honedge and stuff like that, and try to hunt for them along with the Houndoom that spawns there, and also the Manectric, and also the what's that Pokemon? Ekans and Arbok. So hopefully we get a shiny sooner or later. It's gonna be a 4-hour stream, so hopefully we'll get something. Hopefully we'll get something. And I've been streaming for what, like an hour, 30 minutes ish. So yeah, I'm sure we'll get a shiny in no time. My luck isn't that bad. Especially since I don't have the shiny charm, so. Yeah, don't burn yourself out on one hunting method. Yeah, exactly. Gotta mix it up. Also, welcome to the stream mixtape. Yeah, that's the issue with ZA. Like it's really, since there's really no like official like you can't do like chain hunting, like, you know, like fishing, you know, chain fishing, encounter methods, since, you know, random encounters aren't really a thing anymore, and, you know, Masuda methods and stuff like that. It's like, it's really easy to get bored of it, so you gotta like kind of switch up the method. Ooh, that would have been so cool. That was a shiny alpha. But yeah, back to like my whole legendary stuff, my whole legendary talk. What's his name? Groudon. Groudon's probably my least favorite of the three, because, you know, like I said, its proportions are a little weird, and, you know, as someone who pays attention to like character anatomy and stuff like that, it's like, how does that thing should not be able to walk. It's kind of like how some people say that with how fat bees are, they shouldn't be able to fly with their little wings. That's how I feel about Groudon. Like, its legs are so like, there's no, like, Groudon doesn't really have any like proper joints on its body. So really the only way for it to really walk or even run is to waddle towards you, you know? You can only ever do like 30 minutes of Wild Zone 20 before you end up wandering for random shinies. That's fair. For you, it's Kyogre, Rayquaza, and Groudon. Yeah, that's not bad. Kyogre is cool. For me, it's Rayquaza, of course. One of my top 100 favorites. And then Kyogre, and then Groudon. Which, no shade to Groudon. Like, I'm not saying I don't like Groudon. Yeah, I'm not saying I don't like Groudon. I just... It's really just its design that I have an issue with. Like, maybe if they gave it some proper joints, maybe I wouldn't have minded it. But I do find it cool how, instead of like, you know, how most behemoths in media are usually portrayed as like this giant hippo-like beast, they actually chose to just go straight Godzilla with this thing. So I do like that about Groudon. But yeah, overall, I like the entire weather trio. You got the charm and central spawns overloaded to 6, but odds are still odds. Yeah, I don't have the... I'm still working on trying to get my shiny charm, honestly. But, yeah. I'll work on that on my own time, of course. But, you know, it's not like you... I mean, it's not like I can't find any shinies without it anyway. Like, I found a good few of them, actually. Where are they? Where are they? Oh, there you are. I was like, where are they? Well, this Litleo isn't mine. It was traded to me. I traded the shiny Lucario because of, you know, a viewer tipped me like 20. Probably never gonna do that again, because if I take every donation for all of my shinies, then I just wouldn't have them. Then I have, yeah, I've got this. Then I got shiny Dragalge, shiny Malamar, this shiny Beedrill that I found off stream. Same thing with shiny Lairon. Well, this Beedrill was actually a cocoon. I just evolved it. And then shiny Skidoo, which I found on one of my streams, so that was fun. I don't like shiny Pidgey because I've found like 3 of these already, probably 4 actually. I genuinely do not like shiny Pidgey. And I hate how common it is to get it in these shiny hunts. You did the battles offline. It's not fun to watch. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'll stream, like, when I eventually do make, like, teams for the battles and stuff like that. I will, like, I'm sure I'll have fun playing them, but to watch them, I don't know. But I don't know. That's just me as, like, a Pokemon YouTuber in general. Like, I guess because I already cover Pokemon content, it's like I can't really watch other Pokemon content, you know, since I'm already a PokeTuber myself. Yeah, you too. Just considering the top 3, but it's tough too. Oh, my top 3, like, top 3 favorite Pokemon of all time. Oh, that's an easy one for me. Like, from least to greatest, Miraidon, Palafin, and then Cyndaquil. That's like the rogues gallery right there. Well, not really rogue, but you know, that's like my monster trio right there. But yeah. Hold on. Oh, okay. Okay, not the competitive. Okay, not the ranked. Okay, I misunderstood. Yeah. Okay, grinding the 100 NPC battle. Oh yeah, that's not fun to watch, yeah. Yeah, I do that offline. I've been doing that offline. Because no one's... I don't know why anyone would want to watch me do that. Oh, I didn't even check to see if that one was shiny, but I don't think it was. But yeah, I don't... Yeah, I don't know who would want to watch that. I wouldn't want to watch that. It's like, oh yeah, I get to battle the same NPCs over and over again. How fun. I have seen some people stream those, but I don't know. Me personally, I know my viewers would just, as soon as my viewers saw me doing that, like, they would probably leave within, like, the first 30 minutes. But yeah, back to, like, my whole discussion with legendaries. Yeah, like I said, I genuinely just do not like the Lake Guardians. Every time I see the Lake Guardians, I just roll my eyes at them. Like, I don't like them one bit. I can't say anything positive about them. Alright, let's go check on our Beldum. Because that's mainly what we're after. Yo, Noivern, you shiny? No, you not. You guys shiny over here? No? Lame. Alright. Time to go hunt. Time to go hunt for either the swords or, well, the swords and Ekans, since I'm just going for whatever shows up first. Hold on, let me read what you have to say first before I get, like, sidetracked. Ooh, there's an alpha Honedge, but it's not shiny. I wish it was shiny. They don't have much use, but oddly you like Mesper. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I know they have some fans, but I just don't like them. I mean, they're just plain psychic types, of course, you know. And, you know, the fact that... Hold on, let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I'm surprised I didn't do that when I first started streaming it. But, you know, like, I think my issue is that they just kind of feel... It feels like they only exist as plot devices. Yeah, they just feel like plot devices. And I also just don't like that they're just psychic, because I feel like we have way too many. Let me just say this real quick. We have way too many psychic legendaries. Honestly, they could have easily been, if they're Lake Guardians, they could have easily been psychic and water, you know, because they are in lakes. Or, hear me out, they could have also been psychic and fairy. You know, they retyped a lot of Pokemon to be part fairy. They could have easily made them part fairy as well. They could have easily made them part fairy. Aegislash is a sick shiny, especially in Alpha. Yep, that's why I really hope I get myself a shiny Honedge. One of my favorite shinies of all time. Either my favorite shiny Ghost type or my favorite shiny... either my favorite shiny Ghost type or my favorite shiny Steel type. Although favorite shiny Steel type, no, I'll give that... I think I'll give that one to... You know what? Aegislash will be Ghost. I think I'll give Steel to Metagross. That's what I'll do. But yeah, Sinnoh, yeah, Gen 4 just did not have good legendaries in general to me. Like, you know, Dialga, I feel like it's a bit over-designed. It's a bit of an over-designed mess. You got yours in Wild Zone 20, Alpha size, you love it. Oh, lucky you, man. I still have yet to have a shiny Alpha, man. I mean, yeah, I have the shiny Alpha Litleo, but again, it's not mine. So that doesn't count. I want one that I actually caught. But, yeah, Dialga, I know it's a very hot take because I know a lot of people love Dialga and Palkia, but I really don't care for Dialga. I don't even hate it. I just don't care for it. It's just... I don't know, man. And then Palkia... I like Palkia more than Dialga, but... Which is ironic, because I got Brilliant Diamond. I got Brilliant Diamond instead of Shining Pearl. I think it's because one of my friends got Shining Pearl, so I got Brilliant Diamond so that way we could trade version exclusives to each other. But I never worked on the Pokédex. I never worked on my like national decks or whatever in that game. So that was pretty much pointless, but yeah. Palkia, it just has like a really, they just don't have good designs to me. They're a bit over designed. Their lore is kind of boring. Like, oh wow, Dialga is a big dragon that can control time. Amazing. Out of the shiny Sinnoh Pokemon, you love shiny Arceus. That's a very hot take, honestly. They're kind of over. Yeah, they are kind of over. They're probably like some of the most overrated legendaries. They are some of the most overrated. If I'll have to agree with that. But that's a very hot take. I've never been the biggest fan of it, only because I wish that if they were gonna, I get that the whole point is to make Arceus gold, but like in the official artwork and stuff, like especially for Pokemon Home, it just looks, kind of pissed, like someone just took Arceus and pissed on it. But yeah, like not the best color choice if they were trying to portray that to gold. And even in the official games, you know, like Scarlet and Violet, when you transfer it to Scarlet and Violet, you know, if they were trying to make it like it's like this golden god, then I feel like they should have given Arceus kind of like this metallic texture. Because that's the only way like a gold shiny can be good. Because if you don't give it that metallic sheen, then it just looks like someone just pissed on it, you know? But that's just my take, yeah. If you like shiny Arceus, much power to you. Like, that's the beauty of Pokemon, you know? I may not like it, but thank God for the ball guy, because that was a mistake. The palm of my hand hit like hit the right trigger. There is no reason for you to come in here, bro. Where's the other Honedge? Wait. There's supposed to be 3 of you. Oh, he's over there. Bro's just watching paint dry, apparently. True, it could have been better Could have been better color adjusted, but still beat on people. But you still beat on people and competitive with yours. Ah, because you actually have a shiny Arceus, so you have more. So you also have like some personal. So you also have some personal love for it. Thanks to personal use. Yeah, I don't think I ever went for it because I really don't like soft resetting as a shiny hunting method. Maybe it's a bit better if I get when I get a Switch 2, maybe it'll be a bit better. Maybe, but that Ekans jump scared me. My heart skipped like 2 beats, bro. But yeah. Like, and don't even get me wrong. I love Arceus. I love Arceus. I just don't really like it shiny. Like, they did my boy dirty. Especially when he's supposed to literally be the god of Pokemon, of the Pokemon universe. First attempt was a mistake. Couldn't ball it, no Master Ball. Showed in 40 resets, awesome. But you have to... so you have to, like, reset it again and then do another attempt. That sucks. Took a month to get on another save, which did have a Master Ball. Well, at least you got it eventually. At least you were able to reclaim it eventually. For me, when it comes to like the shiny that got away, I really need a shiny I need a shiny Vulpix. That's the one Pokemon that got away. Shiny Clancy? Shiny Chansey I was able to reclaim. Shiny Minior I was able to reclaim. But shiny Vulpix, I still need to get one. I don't even care for shiny Vulpix like that. Shiny Ninetales is cool, but I remember I got a shiny Vulpix in Soul Silver. It was Soul Silver. And it used Roar and basically ran away. So I was very distraught. Well, I wasn't distraught to the point where like I started crying over it or anything like that, but I was very shocked because I didn't know that Pokemon could escape using Roar. I knew Whirlwind. I knew Whirlwind was a thing. I knew they could run away with Whirlwind. I didn't know they could escape with Roar. So I was very shocked. And to this day, that's basically the equivalent of what's the phrase? My white whale with like Moby Dick, you know? That's how I feel about Vulpix. Until I get a shiny Vulpix again, or at least a shiny Cantonian Vulpix, I should say. Until I get one again, I won't be satisfied with my shiny hunting. There was a Vulpix event in Scarlet and Violet months ago. Was there? I never heard of it. I don't know. Pokemon is really bad when it comes to like announcing events. Speaking of events, I never got my code for shiny Koraidon. So that's a shiny that I'll have to miss out on, unfortunately. I mean, I could find someone online who probably has clones of them or whatever, but I don't know. It does suck that it sucks how they implemented those. And why did they only supply GameStop with only 50 codes? Like, just give them, I don't know, just give them a universal code that anyone can use. Like, what? They really should have just distributed them through, I don't know. It was on Outbreaks for like 3. Oh, that. Either I just didn't bother to go for it. Okay. So the Outbreak. Okay, yeah, I remember the Outbreak. Yeah, either I just didn't bother to go for them, or I was really busy with like classes and stuff. I think that it was one of the two. In your country, there wasn't even a place doing gift codes. Yeah, and that's another thing that sucks. Like they basically screwed over people who don't have like any type of game store in, you know, in their country. Well, not like in their country, but like, you know, how they excluded specific countries too. Like that's so scummy. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not mad enough to just like quit the franchise. I know some people are, but you know, Pokemon is like my favorite franchise of all time. I can't just drop it like that. Unless they just gave us like a really crap game. Like no GameStop in the UK. Well, there is another store. It wasn't just GameStop. I'm sure there's like I think there's like a GameStop equivalent in the UK that where they distributed them from what I heard. But still, it was like the same case where like, you know, not maybe in also the fact that some people don't live near a GameStop. Like, you know, I have friends who live like, you know, I have like online friends who live like the closest GameStop to them is like an hour drive. Like, why would you, if out of all of the codes, especially for, you know, your mascot legendaries from, you know, from the current generation, why would you distribute them through a dying retailer? You know, I get it, the Pokemon Company works with GameStop, but I don't know, man. I feel like they should have just, I don't even know, man. I'm just mad about what they did. UK never got it, but France got it? Really? I thought the UK... Hold on, I gotta look that up. I thought the UK got it. That's actually crazy. I swear I read somewhere that the UK got the codes. Hold on, let me research this. I'm thinking, well, okay, let me go back here so I can actually do my research. I'm thinking of game, but they had nothing. Hold on. Which countries had the Miraidon and Koraidon? Oh wow, I thought y'all had it. That's crazy. Okay, so yeah, North America, the United States, and Canada only got it. So if you're in Mexico, tough luck, I guess. Oceania, Australia, and New Zealand. I don't know why I struggled with that. EB Games. Okay, yeah. And then for Asia, of course, Japan, obviously, and South Korea. So everyone else, screw them, I guess. And then Europe, only France and Spain got it. No, that's wild. Wow, this whole time I thought the UK had it. Huh. So I guess y'all didn't. Yeah, wow. So that's even, yeah, those were like the worst. Those were the worst distributed Pokemon events ever. That's actually shocking, especially since, you know, the UK, you know, I'm pretty sure the UK has a pretty big Pokemon fan base there. That's actually wild. I didn't know that. I guess I just heard Europe and I just assumed that, you know, the UK, you know, being one of, you know, the UK being one of those, you know, the UK being one of the more well-known countries in the world would get it, but no. Only France and Spain got it. That's actually a shock to me. That is actually a shock to me. So yeah, if you want the code, you basically you basically have to just find someone who did get the codes, clone the shinies, and then give you one for free. That's actually wild. Low-key, I might just do that. I might just go on Threads or something. I'll be like, hey, does anyone have like a does anyone have like a cloned shiny Miraidon and Koraidon? Like, can I have them, please? I'm gonna be an internet beggar, but instead of begging people to cash at me, I'm just gonna beg for shiny legendaries. Yeah, y'all really got screwed. Crazy. Oh, I know. Because at least with me, like, at least here in the US, we had a chance. Because, I mean, obviously, Pokemon is really big in the US, but I'm pretty sure in the UK it's also big. So, what gives? What gives, Game Freak? That's exactly what you had to do. Friend in the US cloned the ones they got from GameStop. Yeah, I think that's what happened with Zacian and Zamazenta. I didn't bother to get Eternatus back in Sword and Shield because I just don't care for shiny Eternatus. But for shiny Zacian and shiny Zamazenta, one of my former mods on the channel, they had happened to clone theirs and they just gave me one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Because y'all know I was not about to go to GameStop just to get some shiny codes. I despise GameStop with a dying passion. And then this time around, I was like, you know what? Let me try to at least see if I can get a code. And then, like, I heard how so many people weren't able to get a code and stuff like that. So I was like, okay. Let's see if I have a chance. Let's see if I have a chance of getting them. And then I'll make, like, a video basically, like, saying how bad. I think that's one of my that's one of my most viewed videos, actually, on my channel. Like, about just me basically ranting about how bad that distribution event was. Like, it was horrible. Wait, where am I going? Oh. And it sucks because I really love both Koraidon and Miraidon shiny, especially Koraidon. It's a top contender of like favorite shinies. But nope. Never got him. But yeah, back to like my little sort of rant, or just me saying my opinions on Pokemon, on like just like legendary Pokemon. I don't even know how I got to this topic. I think I was ranting about Zero Aura being a mythical. Because, you know, a lot of people think that because I love electric types, you know, electric is my favorite type, they thought that I had a positive opinion on Zero Aura. But I honestly could care less. I honestly couldn't care less about Zero Aura. I don't hate it, you know, I don't hate it. I see why people like it. You know, it's one of those cool humanoid Pokemon like Lucario, which is another Pokemon that I honestly am more indifferent towards. But, or I guess neutral towards, I should say. I always forget there's a Manectric there. But, yeah, I just don't care for it. Maybe it's because of my bias towards humanoid Pokemon, but yeah. Yeah, I think it's really just my... And also the fact that, like, why is that thing considered a mythical? Like, this was, like, getting to a point where we were just giving mythical to any Pokemon at this point. forcing most of the world to resort to cheating with cloning because they didn't want to make it an online mystery gift. Yeah, that's exactly my issue. That is exactly my issue. It's an okay mythical for sure. Yeah, I honestly just don't think it should be a mythical, you know? Like, that thing is literally just a Lucario clone, you know? Like I said, I see why it has a fan base. You know, it's your typical cool Pokemon like Lucario and I guess Cinderace. I personally don't see the appeal in Cinderace, but I can get why it has a fan base because I guess a lot of people really like those humanoid Pokemon. But and this isn't even like me like crapping on any Pokemon that's humanoid, you know. As much as I don't like humanoid Pokemon like Cinderace, Meowscarada, Lopunny, and stuff like that, I mean, there are Pokemon that I do like. There are humanoid Pokemon that I do like. I mean, Incineroar is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. I personally don't consider this one a humanoid Pokemon, but a lot of people do. Zoroark is literally in my top 10. But, yeah, like... I don't know. I have my issues with Zeraora, but mainly like just like Zeraora is just not interesting at all. Like as a regular Pokemon, yeah. And also, you're telling me that a Pokemon that really should have used, that really could have used that fighting typing, they gave it a whole Mega evolution and they still chose not to make it Mega. Like, come on now. What are we doing, Game Freak? That was a missed opportunity right there. They did it with Charizard. They gave it two Mega Evolutions. One that's more of like a naturalistic progression, and then they gave it a fan service one that's, you know, that's part dragon. Like how so many people wanted Charizard to be part dragon. Why did they not choose to make Mega Zeraora part fighting? No clue. Also, I think its Mega is like okay at best. It feels a bit over-designed in my opinion. Kind of looks like a Mega Luxray, if anything, rather than hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We got ourselves shiny Houndoom. I knew it. I knew we were gonna get ourselves a shiny. I knew Houndoom was gonna shine. I had a feeling. I had a sneaking suspicion that Houndoom was gonna shine. Oh, that jump scared me. That jump scared me. I was like, what? Oh my goodness. All right, now I need to look at what Pokeball I'm going to catch this thing in. Oh boy. Oh boy. What ball would this beautiful creature be in? Well, he's not really beautiful. He's more of like a sun damaged. It's like if you took like a Houndoom. Shiny Houndoom kind of looks like if you took like a plushie of Houndoom, you put it on your dashboard, and, you know, it got sun damage over time. That's basically what it looks like to me. But a shiny is a shiny. Ooh. A quick ball would have been really good. A quick ball would be really good. Hold up. Okay, I gotta run away. I gotta run away. I'm only running away just so I can, like, have myself... Just so I can... Because I think we can pull this off. I think we can pull... Luckily, it won't despawn, but... Alright. Where are my quick balls at? Do I even have them? Okay, I have plenty of them. What about moon balls? I don't suspect we have any. A net ball would also be good, but I think a quick ball would be best. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do this. Alright, let's go, let's go, let's go. Go, 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 go. Please don't be facing this way. Dang it. Whatever. I'll just Ultra Ball it. I'll just Ultra Ball it. I will just Ultra Ball it. Please. Alright. Okay. Got ourselves the shiny. Got ourselves the shiny. Alright. I'm so happy. Look at him. Look at him. Amazing. Okay, you have bashful nature. Oh man. Houndoom's actually one of my favorite Pokemon from Johto. Appreciate the congrats. Appreciate it. Okay, it has a bashful nature, which does nothing. Okay, so that's actually good. I can give it whatever nature I want then. Somewhat stubborn. Alright. Now let's find a shiny Houndoom sprite. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Alright, Houndoom. The shiny Mega Evolution army slowly grows. Very, very slow. Oh, whoa. Where's the sprite at? There it is. Since it's a male, I'm gonna download the male sprite. Or not. It's not letting me. There we go. Pokemon home, save, close that out. All right. Look at this, y'all. Okay, why is my computer like slowing down? There we go. Come on, you're supposed to be an M3 MacBook. There we go. Look at him in all his greatness. Mid shiny, but great Pokemon. So I'm happy either way. All right, let's see if there's any mons in here. Okay, Manectric isn't shiny. Let's check on the Ekans. Oh? No. Okay. No shiny for us. Okay. I'm thinking... Let's see if we can get ourselves like a shiny Gibble. Or something. Yeah, let's see if we can get ourselves a shiny Gibble. Wait. Before I leave... Any shinies over here? Sucks we still don't have our shiny Alpha. We still don't have our shiny Alpha. Okay, none of those are shiny. Okay. Oh my. Did he hunt us down? Oh wait, it's the... Oh god. Oh god. Go in here, go in here, go in here. No, you weren't supposed to come in here? I blame Excadrill. Alright. Go in here. Yeah. Let's see if we can let's see if we can get like a shiny Gibble or something like that. I think that's Wild Zone 8. I believe so. See, I knew eventually we would have gotten him. Well, gotten a shiny. Not exactly the one I was going for, but I was gonna need shiny Houndoom anyway. Like, either way, I was gonna have to hunt for it eventually, so I'm glad we got something. Alright, let's go here, this chaotic zone. But yeah, let me see, there's shiny Dialga, Palkia. Oh yeah, Cresselia. Cresselia's okay. Like, she is... Like, she's a beautiful Pokemon and stuff like that, but I don't care for it. Like, I just don't care for Cresselia all that much. Like, I guess it's more of like a... It's more of an it's alright kind of Pokemon rather than a... Oh my. Like, it's more of an it's alright kind of Pokemon rather than like a outright like or dislike kind of thing. Then there's... What's his name? What's that one Pokemon called? There's one Pokemon. I forgot. Heatran. That just shows you how much I care about Heatran. I just don't care for it. But, yeah, I don't know. Again, Heatran, I feel like that... I don't think it really should have been a... Like, did Heatran really need to be a legendary Gibble? Gibble. Let's see if we can get... I'm hoping that we can get either shiny Numel, shiny Drober, or shiny Gibble. Anything but a shiny Machop or a shiny Sandile. Oh no, where's that alpha one? Where's the big one? Where is the big one? Where is he? Was there not an alpha Krokorok? I guess I'm gonna have to meet it around the corner. There you are. I should probably... Well, at least I can just leave the zone before they like actually attack me and then just keep flying. This area is fun. You get to run over Pokemon's heads, hope a shiny pops out. Right. Luckily you can hear the sparkle before they come out though. But yeah, I do like that idea. Like you just run over their heads and they just come out. Oh my god, there's like 3 alphas in here. Actually 4 if you count the Krokorok. Oh lord. Oh lord. Okay, that's not shiny, I can already tell. Well, actually... Yo, you shiny, bro? No, he ain't shiny. Nah, he ain't shiny. How are you alive? How is he alive in here? Bro is running a business in a death zone right now. Who in their right mind would open a business in here? That is a war zone. You know, the funny thing is, I think here, I'm actually going to put a little marker here. Because I know Garbodor, I think Garbodor spawns in this little like alleyway here. And you have, every time you fly back and forth from here, there's a chance that a Garbodor will shine here. And I really like Garbodor shiny, so hopefully we can get that. I mean, I already have one from Sword and Shield, but hey, I won't complain about another one. Sucks that Gigantamax isn't in this game. He would have been useful. Actually, Garbodor can still be useful against, like, Xerneas, I guess. Although I would prefer, like, Metagross or something. No shiny? No shiny? Okay. You need to shine. Oh, Lord. My Inkay is, well... It's okay. I hope someone hurls you into the sun for that joke. What are you talking about? You see me, bro. Yeah, leave me alone. I did nothing to y'all. But yeah, Heatran. Don't care for that one. There's another Mon. Regigigas? This is a very hot one, but I don't care for Regigigas as, like, I don't know, it's kind of a disappointment for me. I do find it cool how like, the weird, like, little spots on its chest, like, they all kind of represent the 3 original Regis, and I do like the whole lore that it's kind of like the the father of all of the Reggies and stuff, but other than that, it's kind of disappointing, especially with its slow start ability in battle. Ugh. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't really judge Pokemon by their competitive viability, but there's just some exceptions where I'm just like, really? Oh, Lord. He ain't shiny. You? Oh, 2 Gibble? Nice. Is that it? I think that's it. Oh wait, you shiny? No. Alright. Keep running. Keep running. Keep running. Keep running before you die. Keep running before you get obliterated. Are we good? Hey, what's going on, Frolian? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Just doing some shiny hunting here and there. Got ourselves a shiny. We just got ourselves a shiny Houndoom, so I'm happy about that. Now I'm sad because my drink's done. Alright. I can tell that's not shiny. I can tell from the distance. Wait. Oh, I thought that Sandal was was shiny for a split second. Ooh, Alpha. I was actually aiming for Gibble, but you know, since you can't really like manipulate what specifically you're hunting for, I was like, you know what, whatever shines in here, you know, I'll take whatever shiny we get before we leave the area. Like, I like to at least have one shiny found in the area before I just straight up leave. Because, you know, I'm leaving here with something. I'm leaving here with something. But, yeah, hopefully, I'm hoping to either get shiny Gibble, because, you know, my goal right now is to kind of build a shiny Mega Evolution army. So I'm hoping to either get Gibble. Yeah, Gibble is a nightmare, yeah, I've heard. And especially with how rare it is and how sometimes it'll just like, sometimes when you throw a Pokeball at it, it just doesn't want to get in the ball. It sucks. This might have to be... I usually like to match the Pokeball color with these Pokemon, but I might have to Ultra Ball it. But yeah, I'm aiming for either Gibble, Drillbur, or Numel. Something that'll actually contribute to the Mega Evolution army. But if I get a shiny Krokorok, I'm not going to complain. It's a really good shiny. I already have a shiny Machamp, so Machop I don't really care for, but yeah. Do I have the shiny charm? I do not. Still working on that. Back, and also while I'm hunting, I've been kind of going on my tangent about legendaries. Nope. Every time I see like the slightly like a slightly like brighter tint, I just assume that it's a shiny Krokorok. Ah, how are you people alive in here? Wait, what do you sell? Oh, you sell berries. Oh my. How are y'all in business? How are y'all alive? That's my main concern. You guys should not be alive in here. So they're very selective about who they attack. These guys, they're perfectly fine in here, but me, it's on sight. Look at this. Oh lord, oh lord. Where's the entrance? Or exit? They're kind of both either way. Alright. Alright, we're out, we're out. Oh my goodness, look at how much damage they did to me. 2 more hits and I would have been dead. Oh my goodness. And that camera up was still going. That camera up was still going. Dude, if we get a shiny alpha camera up, that would be awesome. That'll be awesome. And also, I'm going to remind myself like every 30-ish minutes to come over here. Because that Garbodor could be shiny. That Garbodor could be shiny. I think it's in that area that Garbodor spawns. I'm not 100% sure. Hi, Drover. Oh, come on. You don't have to do me like that. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was a Badoo. Have I found any shiny alpha yet? Nope. I am still aiming for them. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we need to get out of here. What is this? Who in here? Oh lord, oh lord. Alright, alright. Alright, let's leave. Let's leave. Let's leave. Let's leave while we still can. Whew. Look at him. So aggressive. Everyone besides Nummel wants to kill you. Everyone besides Nummel wants to kill you in this region. Or in this area zone. This area zone? This wild zone. Oh my goodness. I struggled with that. Many ground type Pokemon live here. Watch out for the mounds of dirt. But yeah, let's see. What other Sinnoh legendaries? There's Regigigas. Oh yeah, Giratina. Okay, Giratina is actually one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. I actually really like Giratina, so. But I prefer the origin form as opposed to like its altered form. I just like the whole serpentine, like worm dragon. Oh my god. Okay. Nope. It roared and I died. It roared and I died. I died from a roar. How does that even happen? There's no one in recorded history who has died from a creature roaring at them. Unless I guess it gave them a heart attack. This technically counts as respawning, so. I think that's the first time I've died from a creature roaring at me in this game. Other times it was just them attacking me. But this is the first time that just them roaring at me has killed me. Well, did the sound wave of them just like roaring at me kill? Like, did that like... I don't know. Yeah, exactly. It's a free respawn, so I'm not too mad about it. It's a free respawn, so technically they're falling for my plan. It's all part of my master plan. And yeah, Alpha Gibble does indeed look crazy. It would be nice to have one. Or if you can become shiny, that would be great. Yeah, what you gonna do? What you gonna do, fam? Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, they were about to destroy me. Look at him. And don't go in the ground like you didn't just run up on me like that. Ah. Ha, I can run faster than you. Alright. Alright, something will spawn here, though. Give it like 3 more respawns and we'll have ourselves a shiny something. I think Nummel will spawn first. As much as I would love a shiny Gibble, I think Nummel's gonna spawn first. Jober is a very close contender as well. Hi, Sandile. Alright, let me get out of here. Alright, what are other Sinnoh legendaries and mythicals? I like how I'm still on this. Oh yeah, Fione and Manaphy. I don't care for them. That's all you need to know. I don't understand, like Manaphy's alright, but I just don't care for it. I don't know if we needed... I don't know if we needed, like, a weird baby form of it that can't evolve. Like, I don't understand the whole point of Fione. Like, why can we get... Like, I feel like Fione was just, like, a beta design for Manaphy. And they were like, oh, let's just include it in the deck so we can have some more Pokemon in the Pokedex, you know? But yeah, I don't really care for Manaphy all that much. And I really don't care for Fione. Shaman, I actually really like. Yeah, Shaman's actually really cool. You know, I like the interpretation, like, you know, it's a little hedgehog, but instead of like having just regular quills, it has like grass as its quills. I think that's really cool. And in sky form, I don't understand why it has a sky form. I don't know what that's supposed to signify. I don't know why the sky form is basically just... I'm just making sure that none of those birds over there are shiny. Who's Scizor? Oh, I was about to say, who's Scizor is just out here just chilling? What? He's giving me the meanest... Bro, that camera was... Everyone tweaking today. Where did he go? Did he just clip through the freaking stalls? He just clipped through the stalls. Bro, that camera up is a ninja, bro. That camera up is a ninja. You can't prove me otherwise. You can't tell me otherwise, I mean. You can't tell me otherwise. There's no way he's not a ninja. Because how did he do that? You know what? The next regional variant is going to be a camera up that's part ghost. It's going to be like fire and ghost instead of fire and ground. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, no, we're not doing this again. We're not doing this again. And then a freaking creature finishes me off by just roaring at me. We're not doing that again. Okay. What even saw me? Oh, camera up. Because I was like, what other alpha was there? Honestly, though, no area in this game will be as terrifying as this area over here. This is the scariest area in the game because those Pyro are no joke. The minute they see you, it's on sight. The minute they see you, it's on sight. I've never had to dodge so many earth powers in my life. Oh my goodness, it's not even funny. I was just trying to get a Skarmory. And they massacred me. And it's the fact that they can hit you when you're on top of the roof. That is busted. Alright. Alpha Drober. But yeah, I like Shaman. The other mythical was Darkrai. I like Darkrai. He was one of my, he's actually in my top 100. Very low, honestly, but he's up there in my top 100. Pretty cool Pokemon. And it's not even like a specific reason, he just looks cool. I'm so glad that they can't hit you when you're like out of the wild zone, or like the attacks don't actually register when you're out of the wild zone, because that would have been brutal. That would have been horrible. And then Arceus, I mean, come on. Arceus is awesome. I do like the interpretation of Arceus as like a deity, or deity Pokemon. Who's my favorite Pokemon? Sorry if I already... No, I don't mind when people ask me. It's Cyndaquil. That's like my day one. Like, if... Like, it's basically... Like, he's the one Pokemon... He's... Like, everyone has that one rule where, like... Everyone has that one Pokemon where, like, if you can get him in the game... Like, if you can get that said Pokemon in the game, then they absolutely must be on your team. No questions asked, and that's how I feel with Cyndaquil. Mainly because it was like my first Pokemon, like, well, technically my first Pokemon was actually, it was either Turtwig or Chimchar, since my first games were actually Diamond and Pearl, but Soul Silver was the first Pokemon game that I actually beat, so I always considered that my first game, my first Pokemon game. And of course, my starter and main Pokemon in that game was Cyndaquil, who I evolved into a Typhlosion, and I proceeded to only use that Typhlosion, so yeah. And really the only reason I picked Cyndaquil was, one, because, you know, I kind of had that opinion that the fire starter is always the cool one to go with. Even though I actually like the grass starters a lot more in a lot of the regions, but also because Cyndaquil was just adorable. Like, honestly, in my personal opinion, cutest Pokemon of all time. Like, he's just a little baby. And I don't hate, no hate towards Quilava or Typhlosion. I actually like those two. My problem with Quilava is that it kind of loses the charm. Like, Quilava kind of loses the charm that it had as a Cyndaquil. You know, where, and now it just looks like kind of like a generic ferret that has a fiery mohawk and a weird peacock-esque tail on it. So, it's still cool, it's just... It's not as unique as Cyndaquil, in my opinion. And then Typhlosion's cool, but again, kind of the same... Like Typhlosion, I mean, it takes one of my favorite animals, the honey badger, and, you know, basically light it on fire. I mean, that's pretty cool, but again, I just have too much nostalgia for Cyndaquil to just consider it better. And Hisuian Typhlosion, I know a lot of people like Hisuian Typhlosion more than regular Typhlosion, but I'm actually the opposite of that. I actually prefer Johtonian Typhlosion, but again, that's probably due to nostalgia on my end, rather than like... Because I do think it has a more interesting concept, the Hisuian form, but I just have too much nostalgia for Johtonian Typhlosion. But yeah, definitely my favorite Pokemon from Gen 2 and my favorite Pokemon of all time. Right. So now that's Gen 4, let's go to Gen 5, where those legendaries... Oh, what am I doing? I gotta reset the area first. Oh yeah, the first mythical is Victini. It's actually the first Pokemon in the Unova Dex, actually. Victini's cute, you know. I like it. I mean, it really is just another Miyu clone, but I like him. I like the whole idea that like the Pokemon is supposed to be like if the Pokemon likes you, it can grant you the ability of victory, even though that ability was actually in the games. Like you can win any battle you please if you have it, if it likes you enough, but you know, obviously they can't just do that in the games because that would just be busted. But you know, its design is cute. It's a little bunny, you know. It has charm to it. It has charm to it. And it's also the first. At the time, Fire and Psychic was like a crazy. It was like a crazy type combo. So, yeah, I like him. Probably not my favorite mythical. Like it's not gonna win any favorites lists, but you know, I like him. Wow, they really like giving me Alpha Machops right now. Something's gonna shine eventually. I can feel it. I can feel it. Feel it in my bones. It's a reactionary. It's like a reactionary type sense. I still don't understand how this person is alive. I'm sorry. Like how? Hey, bro's getting his cardio in. I need to get my cardio in myself. I haven't went running in a minute. Might do it tomorrow if I wake up early enough. I like to do it like I kind of like to do it like in the morning, like after I eat breakfast, you know. A little bit after I eat. It's not good to go like immediately after eating, but you know, maybe like maybe like 30 minutes after I eat, I like to go for a little run. Been losing quite a bit of weight. I actually lost 20 pounds recently, so I'm actually proud of myself there. But yeah, I'm trying to remember the Unova legendaries. Oh yeah, I think the first legendaries are the Swords of Justice. Yeah, the Swords of Justice. I don't care for them. It's mainly like a proportions thing. Like I think their proportions make them look a little too toy-like. I don't know. I just find them kind of weird. I mean, it's cool that we have Pokemon based on the Three Musketeers, but why are they like goats and llamas and stuff like that out of all the animals? And I also don't like how their swords are portrayed, like how the swords don't really feel like they're a part of their anatomy, you know, like how basically their forehead glows. At least that's how it's portrayed in the anime. Their forehead glows, and then that's how they get like their signature swords, but I don't like it. I was never really the biggest fan of just like, oh yeah, like this Pokemon has a weapon, but it just makes it out of energy. It's kind of how I feel. It's kind of how I feel about, you know, like look at Sceptile for example. Like, you know, it's the actual leaf appendages on its arms turn into Leaf Blade when it's using the attack. Like that's, you know, that's smart. You know, it's actually using its biology for that. But other than that, I don't really care for... I don't like how the Swords of Justice use their swords. I think my least favorite of the bunch is probably... Who is my least favorite? I think Cobalion is my least favorite of the three. I don't care for Cobalion. Terrakion has a cool, like, stance, but, it's just alright. I think Virizion is probably my favorite of the three. Yeah, probably my favorite of the three. Or technically four, since Keldeo does count as part of the Swords of Justice. Did I get shiny Beldum? No. I got a shiny Houndoom, and then I decided to go for hopefully a shiny Gibble, or you know, maybe a Numel or a Jobber, or really any shiny. I'm kind of just doing it where like each zone, I won't leave a zone until I get a shiny in that respective zone. I think that's how I'm gonna do it now, because you know, eventually you're gonna get the shiny. Also, I need to go check on the Garbodor, because that Garbodor might be shiny. And I just don't know. Ow. There is no need for all of this hostility. Where are you going? Where's he going? Alright, where is he? Like over here? So I'm actually going to fly back here. Just to make it a little easier. Even though I could just run around. But that just shows my laziness. I think this is where the Garbodor is. If not... Wait, how do I get... Is it not? Unless I need to... Oh, do I need to go around? I think I need to go around the corner here. Like up here, and then there's like a little opening on the side. I think. I don't know. Let me see. Let's... I hope I'm going the right way. Oh no, that was Furfur, I heard. Yeah, I think he's in here. He should be in here, right? Right? Yeah, he in here. He in here, alright. I think that's the first Pokemon that officially killed me in this game. I think. It was either that or it was one of the rogue Pokemon. I think it was Barbaracle, actually. Barbaracle was my first, like, official, like, loss against anyone. Yeah. Continuing my legendary Pokemon tangent, sorta. I promise y'all I don't just hate legendaries. It's really just the gens 4 and 5 legendaries that, you know, that get my wrath, you know? Oh, don't even get me started on the forces of nature, the genies. I don't care for them. Those are probably my least favorite. I'll get to Enamorous when we get there, but, you know. Well, actually, no, I can just talk about them as a set, yeah. Enamorous is probably the best of the 4, but I don't care for... I don't really care for Landorus, and I genuinely... Tornadus and Landorus are probably like 2 Pokemon that I can say like I just outright hate them. Like Landorus is like at least like a D tier Pokemon for me, if not F. You know, it's like a Pokemon that like I don't outright hate it, but you know, I just kind of shrug my shoulders towards. But Tornadus and Landorus is just, I don't know. If Game Freak were to ever just retcon them like they never existed, I wouldn't bat an eye. I would not bat an eye. I do find Enamorous interesting. At least its Therian form. Like I like the little turtle form that it takes, and how like the little like snake tail that it has, it turns into like the turtle shell. I think that's cool. But other than that, yeah, overall I don't really care or even like the forces of nature. Maybe it's also my bias towards humanoid Pokemon as well, so yeah, I think it's just my bias towards humanoid Pokemon. Like where they're literally just dudes with clouds. Like, but then I do find the Therian forms interesting, but okay. I will say one positive thing about the forces of nature. Thundurus has a pretty cool looking one. I think Thundurus has a pretty cool looking Therian form. And yeah, I do, and I know some people like to point out like, oh, but DeAndre, they're based on the four auspicious animals from. They're based on the four auspicious animals from Chinese mythology. And I'm like, or from Chinese culture, and I'm like, I mean, just because it's I mean, I know that, but just because a Pokemon is based on a specific concept doesn't mean that I have to like it. It's the same thing I see where some people try to like defend. I didn't even realize I was an alpha. Oh, I just saw like a giant Gibble just like I just saw like a giant Gibble just launch up from underground. I was like, why is it so huge? How do I feel about the wild zones in ZA? I like them. I honestly, I don't mind them. I mean, obviously for a game that takes place specifically in a city, like only in a city, it made sense that they were gonna have to implement like wild areas and stuff like that some way. And I think this is honestly the best way they could do it. And I do like how, you know, one thing I do, as much as I have my critiques on like the overall look of Lumiose City, like I do think the city could look a little better, but I do find it interesting like how they convert it into a wild area for the Pokemon respectively to fit into them. I do like that aspect of them. That's pretty cool. Like how, for example, well, if it hurries up and loads. Why is it foggy? This is my least favorite weather condition in this game. Where is it? I think it's, yeah, Wild Zone 12. They somehow took this entire park and turned it into a winter wonderland. I think that is so awesome. I think that is so cool. So yeah, like I do like that whole idea of like taking, you know, wild Pokemon and then putting them into an environment where, you know, putting them into like some sort of fixed environment that, you know, kind of mimics the natural environment that they would live in, you know? Hey, what's going on? Dilly? I'm gonna say Dilly. Hey, what's going on, Dilly? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Welcome. Just doing some shiny hunting. Oh, Eddie, I don't know if I answered. I don't know if I like told you which shiny I got, but if you see under me in the latest section, I got a shiny Houndoom from Lysander Labs. I'm sure you were able to figure that out, but you know, sometimes I'll be talking about something and then I just like completely just sidetrack and talk about something else. So I don't know if I said so or not, but yeah. But yeah, the wild zones in ZA, I'm more so positive about. Because, you know, with Legends Arceus, you know, they had to do a, you know, obviously there was, okay, that one just spawned there. That dirt mound just spawned there. But, oh my. That's a chonky boy right there. What was I saying? Like how Arceus had like the wild, like the open areas, you know, like how you had Jubilife Village, and then, you know, you could go to like whatever, like the Obsidian Fieldlands, or you could go to the Obsidian Fieldlands, or you could go to the Cobalt Coastlands and stuff like that. It kind of, I get that they couldn't really do that. I was kind of hoping that they would do that for, you know, Lumiose City would be like the base area, and then everything, and then like you could go to like different areas of Kalos to, you know, hunt and stuff like that. But I guess if it had to solely take place in Lumiose City, you know, they were gonna have to do whatever. So yeah, the wild zones, I kind of have a typical um overall positive feel about them, especially Wild Zone 20. That's probably my favorite one of all of them. It's interesting how they turned the central hub of Lumiose City into a wild zone. I do like that. I wasn't even expecting that. Okay, I did answer it. Okay, cool. I was just making sure because, you know, sometimes your boy just like, I'll be talking about something and then like I have another thought and then I just start rambling and then I never answer the original question. What am I shiny hunting? Right. I don't really have a specific goal since, you know, you can't really specifically hunt anything. But, you know, right now I'm hunting in Wild Zone 8 and I would like to get at least a Gibble. I would like to get Gibble. Since out of all these Pokemon in here, Garchomp is my favorite Pokemon. In this area, well, that I could get from this area. But if not Gibble, then I won't complain about a Drillbur or a Numel. And also a Sandile, because I do like Crocodile. What's my favorite new Mega? I still don't really know. I'm still kind of getting my thoughts together, and I will make a video going over like my thoughts on all of the Mega Evolutions and like my thoughts and opinions about them. I'm just waiting for the DLC to come out so that way I can just like do like a so that I can maybe do like a 2-part video or something like that where I just go over like my initial thoughts on the Gen Z on the ZA Mega Evolutions and then do another video on the DLC Mega Evolutions. But if I really had to pick one, it's a tie between Mega Chandelure and Mega Electros. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a tie between those two so far. Mega Barbaracle is your favorite? No, Mega Barbaracle is actually a good one. I was surprised. I was actually surprised when I saw it. I was like, oh, I actually really like it, you know? And it also communicates how barnacles actually are. I mean, let's be real, Barbaracle's already, what, like 7? No, wait, hold on. No, it's 5. Is it 5 or 7? I think it's like 5 binacles in... No, it's either 5 or 7. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's like, I think it's 5 or 7 binacle in one body. So, I mean, obviously, the smart decision for Barbaracle, if you were to give it a Mega, was to give it more. So I do like that. But yeah, like typically, like I know this is gonna be a shocker to most people, but is that it? Oh, I thought that was an alpha. I was like, how come the alpha noise didn't come on? But I never really cared for Mega Evolution, but you know that doesn't mean I hate it. It's just my least favorite gimmick out of the 4 that we've gotten. The 4 battle gimmicks, I should say. But I will say that overall, I do prefer ZA's Megas as opposed to... I do like the ZA Mega Evolutions over the XY and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Mega Evolutions, because I feel like, you know, for these ones, they just had fun with it. You know, you have Mega Starmie, where they really just had fun with the idea. I know not everyone likes Mega Starmie. I'm still on the fence on how I feel about it, but, you know, you know, I feel like they implemented the designs a lot better rather than just making, you know, all the Pokemon just, oh yeah, here's a bigger, edgier version of insert Pokemon with some spikes slapped on. Made it like an over-designed mess. So yeah, most of the Mega Evolutions in this game, I do have most of the new Mega Evolutions in this game, I do have kind of a, you know, positive I have a positive lean towards them. Wild Zone, you got a shiny from Wild Zone 8, a random shiny? Which shiny did you get? I forgot Gibble was in here for some reason. I was surprised to see him. I don't know why. You're not shiny. No, you're not. Okay. He looked a little browner than usual, so I was like, don't tell me I got a shiny Machop. Anything but that. You don't know the name? Okay. Do you... Wait, hold on. I could do this. Do you know which, like... So, from the 6 Pokemon on this screen, which one was it? And that's going horizontally, so... From the crocodile to the mole, that would be like 1 through 4. Like, which number? Do you know which one it was? Also, while I'm doing this, let me go ahead and teleport out of here. Sandile! Sandile's so cute. They had no business making it so cute. What Pokemon was I talking about? I was continuing my whole tangent with legendary Pokemon, but I forgot who I was on. Oh, Zekrom and Reshiram. Ooh, I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. I'm a dead man. If one more attack and I'm dead. One more attack and I'm dead. Nope. Nope. I wasn't paying attention. I was not paying attention when when Camera Up did that. Oh, Krokorok. Or wait. No, the 2 of the right. So, okay, you had a shiny Sandile, actually. Okay, so you had shiny Sandile. Nice, honestly. Very nice shiny. You're missing shiny Crocodile and Sandile. Or Krokorok, actually. Shiny Krokorok and Sandile from Wild Zone 8. Well, best luck to you. Do you have the shiny charm, Eddie? I think everyone has the shiny charm. I think I'm the only person playing this game who doesn't have it. It is not because I'm like one of those elitists where I'm like, oh, well, I don't need a shiny charm to increase my odds. It's just that I've just been procrastinating myself getting it. It's 1 a.m. in your country. What country are you from? If you don't mind me asking. Where's everyone from, actually? Okay, I need to get out of here. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Ooh. Oh my goodness. You're close to completing your shiny dex. Nice. Oh, you're from Germany. Nice. I think you're my first German viewer. No, I had another one. No, they're from Belgium. Yeah, they're from Belgium. Yeah, never mind. Yeah. Thought they were from Germany, but no, they're from Belgium. $28 shinies away, nice. Yeah, I typically don't really go for shiny dexes myself. Which, of course, that's not. I'm not saying like, you know, if you do, you're a loser or anything like that. Like, I understand why people would do that, but me personally, it's not for me. I just kind of Camera Up. Come on, man. There was no need for that. Every time. What did I do to this Camera Up? Jesus. Oh, he's still coming. Look at him. What's good? Oh my goodness. Look at it. Look at you. Look at you. Looking like a fool. But yeah. I kind of just go for shinies I think look cool. But right now, since, you know, I do want to get into... I do want to get into the whole competitive, like the ranked battles in this game. Yeah, I do want to get into the ranked battles in this game. I do want to get like a ultimate like shiny team. Oh, you're not doing a living dex. Okay, you just want your... Oh, you just want all... Okay, you just want to fill out that Pokedex. Okay, okay. Gotcha. I mean, yeah, I mean, while we wait for the DLC, might as well try to fill out that dex, you know? Might as well fill out that dex. I think right now I'm mainly trying to just go after every single shiny mega evolution that I can get. And then afterwards, I'll just go for like every other Pokemon in this game. The fossil shinies are hard to get. Oh, oh yeah, because you have to like... Don't you have to like soft reset? Yeah, you essentially have to like soft reset. You're going by. Alright. Where you go? I'm joking. I know it's like 1 a.m. for you. Yeah, see you later. See you later, Dilly. He was so literal with it. I am going. But yeah, see you later, bro. Appreciate you stopping by. And hey, if you rock with the vibes, consider subscribing, you know? You never know. I might stream something you may like. You feel me? And that goes to you too, viewer. Yeah, I'm talking to all of you. You know, if you really rock with my content, then subscribe. You know, if you've been here for like more than an hour, I mean, I don't know why. I don't know what you're doing. Click that subscribe button. You know, I have not told people to subscribe to my channel during my streams in like a long time. It feels so weird telling people. It's like I should be telling people to subscribe, right? But like I just never do that. Cause I really just like, cause you know, it's not really like I'm not really after like the subscriptions and stuff like that, but it's like, you know, or you know, if you're on Twitch, you know, follow me, of course. I gotta let the Twitch people know. I gotta let the Twitch people know. You're excited about... Okay, can you all stop attacking me? You made? Wait, what do you mean you made, Dilly? You're excited about the Mega Chestnut Stone. Chestnut is one of your favorites. I still need to make a team so I can actually, you know, go in and get my own. Like, you know, get my own, get the stones for the... hollow starters. That's really all I'm missing. That's really all I need. I really hate that you can't get them during the story. Like, you have to do it through ranked. It's so stupid. But yeah, I do need to I do need to get the Greninja and the Delphoxite. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's not run into that. Oh. I love how you can apparently dodge a roar. That's so funny to me. Chestnut used to be my favorite of the three, but now I'm just more of like a I like it, but it's not, but I don't love it kind of situation. My favorite of the three is Greninja now. I did used to be one of those people. I know I like to say this all the time. Like I really try not to be one of those people who just hates a Pokemon because it's popular. I mean, I love Pikachu, I love Charizard, you know, but you know, I don't really... in good faith, I can't say that. Like, in honest faith, I can't, like... I used to be one of those people. I can't lie and say that I wasn't one of those people who kind of hated on Greninja at first. Like, I think it's because of the Ash Greninja thing. Ever since when they brought it into the game, that's when I started to kind of like hate on it. But you know, I started just looking at Greninja as like its own design. I hate Ash Greninja with a dying passion. I don't know, like it was fine as like I don't know, it was a weird thing. Like they should have just given, I don't know why they didn't just give the Kalos starters Mega Evolutions in the first place, you know? Like, I get it, they didn't want to lock Ash to a Mega Evolution, especially, and they didn't want to give him, I guess they also didn't want to give him like a former Pokemon to Mega Evolve. So they gave Greninja, so they were like, oh yeah, let's just give him a Deus Ex Machina Pokemon that literally just steals the spotlight of every other Pokemon. But I don't know. Like Ash Greninja is one of those Pokemon where like when I look at it, I just roll my eyes. Like I just think it's a dumb form. Like at that point they might as well just have made a Mega Greninja. Heck, they could have easily been like, oh yeah, the Mega Stone for Greninja is just really hard to come by, so that's why like Ash is the only one to use Mega Greninja, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just being salty, but yeah, but my least favorite thing was bringing it into the game. Like, it's fine if you want to give Ash, like, an anime-only exclusive, like, Pokemon or whatever, but I honestly... I swear, I thought I heard, like, the shiny sparkles. I thought I heard shiny sparkles for a split second. Maybe I'm just tripping. Mega Greninja makes Ash's Battle Bond form look like I always thought that Ash's Battle Bond, I always thought the Battle Bond form was trash, man. Like, I don't hate it as much as I hate something like... I don't hate it as much as I hate, like, Mega Latios and Latias. But Ash Greninja was just so stupid. It's so dumb. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of, like, the whole, oh yeah, here's a form that only this particular Pokemon can only access. Like, it's why I'm not the biggest fan of Dusk form Lycanroc. I know I said that Dusk form Lycanroc was my favorite, like, rock type, like, years ago. But, like, in retrospective, I was like, yeah, it really is just midday form with an orange recolor. So, yeah. Like, I get what they were doing. They were trying to, like, do, like, a whole, like, oh, it has elements of both midday and midnight. But, like, it really did just feel like just, oh, yeah, let's just take midday form, make it orange, and then give him Midnight's haircut. That's literally all they did. They could have done something a lot more interesting. But yeah, Ash Greninja, I can rant about that thing for days. But yeah, I used to hate Greninja because of the whole Ash Greninja fiasco, but like ignoring the Ash Greninja stuff, especially since it's no longer even canon, they literally retconned that form like it never existed. Like the ability still exists, but Now it's just more of like a stat boost ability rather than like, you know, rather than just like, oh yeah, he takes on this weird form. Also, it just never made sense lore-wise. If it's supposed to be Ash Greninja, then why can we, the player, get access to that form, you know? At first, I used to like, at first I used to excuse it because I thought eventually they were gonna make a Pokemon Z, and then we were gonna have like the synchro forms or whatever. Like I thought we were gonna get battle bond forms for Chestnut and Delphox, but then when they never got anything and it was only Greninja, I was like, yeah, I don't like it. And then just in retrospect, the form just looks cool. Don't get me wrong. We had some cool battles in XY and XY and Z. Like I'm not gonna ignore that. Like the animation in that series was top tier, but design-wise, Ash Greninja just looks dumb. They just gave Ash too much plot armor. I mean, yeah, in some episodes, yeah, it is really plot armor. But, I mean, Ash is actually a good trainer, you know? He actually is a good trainer. I think a lot of people give him too much flack, especially the people who only watched the first series, like the original series, and never watched anything beyond Johto. But, yeah, he's a good trainer. But Ash Greninja let's be real, Ash Greninja was really a Deus Ex Machina. And I also didn't like how he basically stole Spotlight from his other Kalos Pokemon once Frogadier evolved into Greninja. Because at least, like, you know, Talonflame, Hawlucha, and even Goodra had their moments. But then, once we got Greninja, it was like, I mean, I always forget that Ash even has a Noivern. And that sucks because Noivern is my favorite Gen 6 Mon. So, that just shows you how irrelevant Greninja made Noivern. I don't even think Noivern ever had like Noivern didn't really even have like any like impressive feats in the show. Like, he either got wrecked, like in the league, he either got wrecked or he tied with the Pokemon, and that was it. But yeah, Kalos, they had some weird choices for what they wanted to do. Also, give me a quick second. I'm gonna turn my lights down real quick. Siri, turn the lights to 50%. Siri, turn the lights to 50. There we go. Alright, had to stretch there too. Quick tip for anyone else who is a streamer like me. Always make sure you stretch once in a while. But yeah. But before Ash Greninja, I would say like Hawlucha was kind of like that Pokemon that rivaled Greninja as a Frogadier, because Hawlucha had some pretty good feats on its belt. You're back. Hey, welcome back, Dilly. But yeah, I think Ash's Hawlucha was pretty cool. Okay, I need to get out of here again. Like, Hawlucha was already one of my favorite, was my second favorite Kalos Pokemon behind Noivern. But when they gave Ash a Hawlucha, I was like, oh, hell yeah. If there's any Kalos Pokemon I want you to give Ash, it was Hawlucha. I was actually surprised that they gave him a Noivern, especially since... Because I thought they wouldn't give him a Noivern, since, you know, he already had Goodra. I mean, yeah, he released Goodra, but... I don't know. And then they gave him Noivern in XY for... After he released Goodra. So I was like, okay, cool. And then... I think there was that one episode that focused on a shiny Phantump, and I was really hoping that Ash would get a shiny Phantump on his team, because it would be cool to have give Ash another shiny. But then it was just a filler episode, so I was like, ah, you guys suck. Don't toy with my emotions like that. It would have been so cool. Do you know how cool it would have been, you know, if they actually did give Ash a Phantump, and then they would have made it have like a cool rivalry with Jessie's Gourgeist? That would have been cool. You know, kind of like how her Mimikyu had a rivalry with Ash's Pikachu. That would have been cool. Ooh, that would be a cool video to do, like things I wish they implemented from in the Pokemon anime. Did I do the 1000 battles? I'm still working on that. Like I said, I don't have the shiny charm. Like, I'm still working on the shiny charm. And the bad thing about it is, even if I do the 1000 battles, it won't boost me. It's not gonna boost me all the way to the shiny charm yet, so I'm gonna do all of these other quests. Like, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna fill up the Mega Evolution decks. Like, I'm gonna get the remainder of the Mega Evolution stones that I don't have. And then I also need to do some link trades, because that's like an easy 2000 points right there. And then I'll do the 1000 battles, because I have less than 100 to do, so... Well, I could just knock it out of the park. Yeah, I really could just knock it out of the park. You have 130 hours in the game? Dude, I don't even know how many I have. Oh. Oh, I have 115. Do I think? What does think mean? Wait, what do you mean? Oh, Lord. Do I think this much? I do, actually. I don't act like it, but I am a very analytical person. Like, I ramble on like this, even outside of streaming. Like, I talk to myself a lot. That's just how I think, though. Hey, it's my boy Gumi. I don't know how I'm just now noticing Gumi here. Do I have Zygarde? I do. I have every Pokemon in the... I actually have every Pokemon in the decks. I just need, I just need to fill, like, the Mega portion of it. Which I am so glad that all you need to do to fill out the Mega Dex is just have the Pokemon. Rather than you know, like I haven't Mega Evolved Emboar at all. But because I have the Mega Stone for it now, I can just... Also, the fire kind of looks... I guess it's because of the texture of the game, but the fire doesn't really look like fire. It's more like fiery hair. Like, this doesn't really feel like fire to me. But I guess that's just how the game is. Also, because of this, I can actually, like, look at all of the... I can actually have, like, a good look at all of, like, the Mega Evolutions outside of battle. So that way I can actually, like, form my opinions and stuff on them. I only need 45 megas for the shiny charm. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Even if I do, like I said, even if I do the 1,000 battles, I'm not going to reach level 50. That's the issue I have. At most, I'll probably reach, like, level 47. Like, I'll probably get some done with level 46 and then get to level 47. But then I still need to do 48, 49, and 50. So... Hold on. Where is it? So, I think if I do 2 more evolution trades, I'll be good. Because that's another additional 2,000? Yeah, that's another additional 2,000. Oh, wait, I'm dead wrong. I won't even... I'll only, like, I'll be close to, like, level 47, but not level 46, because... And I guess I could just catch some Pokemon. I guess I could just catch Pokemon, but I really don't like doing that. Especially when I try to keep my boxes tidy. But I guess I'll just have to do that. Oh wow. I just saw like this flash from my screen. I don't know what that's all about. Is my encoder too high or something? I don't know. Shouldn't be. Unless, like, my MacBook is just going through a lot of stress right now. Okay, come on. Who even saw me? Oh, camera up. I was like, who even saw me? I'm not even close to an alpha. And then I just turn around and I see camera up. I didn't do a lot of the cafes. I realize. But yeah, the battles, I can do those. I can probably knock those out of the park. Like some, you know, when I have time to like play this outside of streaming. I'm not gonna do them while I'm streaming because I mean, who would want to watch me do repetitive NPC battles? You know? Okay, you guys made your point. Now leave me alone. You're going to sleep. Hope I find a shiny. Appreciate it. See you later, Dilly. Why do I keep doing that? But yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not done talking about my opinions on all the legendaries. So, oh. It's just an alpha. Oh, Zekrom and Reshiram. This is a very hot take because I know a lot of people love Zekrom and Reshiram, but I'm not the biggest fans of them, honestly. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't hate them or anything. I just don't care for them much. Like, I view Reshiram and Zekrom in a positive light. I personally prefer Zekrom more than Reshiram, but I like them both. You know, even though they look like a pain. They look like a pain to design and even animate. Especially Zekrom, because Zekrom has so many details on it. Yeah, Zekrom has so many details on it. It's not even funny. But yeah, I like I've always liked I've always preferred Zekrom's more industrial design rather than like the, you know, the natural. And I do like that kind of like comparison with, you know, Reshiram and Zekrom, how one's more naturalistic looking and another one looks more mechanized without actually, like, Zekrom is a natural Pokemon, but it's not like, but it looks more industrialized, you know. And then there's Kyurem, who, like I've said, I love base form Kyurem. I love that. I love the lore between, like, I love the lore about the whole original dragon that was like split, like how basically like the truth aspect of, you know, the truth aspect with Reshiram was split from Kyurem, and then Zekrom was like the ideal side, like the idealistic side, and then Kyurem is basically just like this leftover zombified husk. I always loved it. And I love how asymmetrical its design is. You don't get a lot of asymmetrical Pokemon, so I'm glad that they did it for Kyurem. My only issue is that I don't really like its... But I don't like black and white Kyurem. They just look kind of... I get it, they're supposed to be like kind of like the fusion forms and stuff like that, but they just look clunky. They look like they're doing a little too much. Sorry, just popping my knuckles. And I think after that, it's just like the mythicals afterwards. So Keldeo is actually my least favorite of the Swords of Justice. I just don't care for it. It doesn't really have a lot going on for me. I get what it's supposed to be based off of. It's supposed to be based on, like, you know, the youngest member of the Three Musketeers. Like, he's supposed to be based on the eventual fourth Musketeer, but Meloetta, I like its Aria form, I like the Pirouette form. My only issue with Meloetta is that it doesn't feel like a mythical. It just looks like a regular Pokemon that you can encounter in the wild, which is an issue I have with a lot of future mythicals, where it's like why is it a mythical? Why is this a legendary when, like, there's no lore behind why Meloetta is really mythical either? I know in the anime there's like some lore. I know in the anime there's some like lore how it comes from like a lost kingdom or something, but I mean that's anime only lore. It's not like we actually explore that in the games. And then Genesect, I think Genesect's awesome. It's actually the only legendary slash mythical Pokemon that we have that is bug type. So but yeah, I do like the whole lore of like Genesect being like this mysterious like extinct Pokemon that Team Plasma eventually like upgraded. Like it basically turned into like they revived it by turning it into like this like cyborg thing that with a cannon on its back to, you know, to please N, you know, the former king of Team Plasma, but M disliked it because it was like, like the whole morality of basically messing with nature, you know? So I do like that bit of lore, and it's kind of understandable why that counts as a mythical because, it was a formerly extinct species of Pokemon, and it's basically one lore wise in the games, it's like one of a kind, you know. Even though in the anime there's like five, they apparently made like five of these things, but yeah, I mean they're still mythical. I would call that a mythical because not many people know that that thing exists. Dawn's approaching already? Dang, I was yapping for a minute then. And then thankfully, after Gen 5, we kind of start reducing the number of legendaries and mythicals. In Gen 6, we literally only had like 6 legendaries. Technically 3 legendaries if you want to be technical, but if you guys know me by now, you guys know I count mythicals as legendary since mythicals are basically just a subcategory. Like, let's be real. Like, the only reason they're called mythicals rather than just straight up legendaries is because at least before, like, at least before, you were able to just get them after, like, special events and after, like, specific in-game events, you only got them through distribution codes and stuff, so that was really the only difference, but now it's like, why even call them? Why even call them like a separate category? They're legendary. I know a lot of people like to debate me on that topic, but I mean, like, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Mythicals are really just legendaries that you can't get under normal means. Although they kind of started changing that, so. And thank God, because I hated doing this whole like, oh, go to GameStop for this exclusive code, or you have to go to this specific event that only like 100 people can go to. You know, I always thought it was stupid. This limited time event. At least it's a lot easier. Like in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I think for what's it called? Oh Lord, I'm getting my butt handed to me. A new day is dawning. Thank God. Monk raid. Oh, we're getting raided. Hey, welcome in, raiders. Welcome. Appreciate the raid, man. Could potentially just be us and some lurkers. Hey, no problem. I appreciate the lurkers too. Welcome, Monk. Welcome to the stream. How are we doing tonight? Or today, whatever time it is for you. What were we streaming? Appreciate the raid, my guy. And matter of fact, let me go ahead and, since none of my mods are here, I'm gonna drop that link down real quick. If I can, if it'll allow me to go to your channel. And also welcome Shadow. Welcome. Got to your 15th battle in the Infinite ZA Royale. Hey, nice. I know that's a grind. I know that was a grind. Oh, here we go. Go to channel. Come on. Let's load. This is supposed to be a fast MacBook, by the way. Alright. Go ahead and drop that sub. Alrighty. Appreciate it. Takes forever. Apparently you can keep going till 60 for an exclusive title. I didn't even know that. I've only been doing them just so I can get this blasted shiny charm. For a split second I thought that Pidgey over there was shiny. I was about to get so mad. I was like, that's one shiny I don't need. I already have my shiny. I already found like what, 3 shiny Pidgeys. Oh my god, I just realized that this is a Halucha manhole cover. That is awesome. Trainer Royale. Alright, there we go. Took me like 20 business days to get that link. Something like that. Guessing it's a golden title. I keep forgetting that titles are a thing in this game. If only there was something in the game that actually told you about titles. Well, there probably is. I just don't pay attention a lot. It's weird. I have like, it's like a weird mix of paying attention and not paying attention. But what did you think of the game though? What did you think of Legends ZA as a whole, since you beat it? Yeah, just over here, you know, just shiny hunting. We did get a shiny Houndoom earlier in the stream. Kind of aiming for a Gibble, but if we don't get Gibble, then I'm okay with a Drillbur and a Numel. Alright. Oh wait, I forgot to check out to see if that Garbodor is shiny. It could very well be. You never know. Yeah, let's go see if our boy's shiny. Oh, Fletchling. I was like, what did I hear? I'm surprised I haven't found a shiny Fletchling yet. Alright, hopefully the Garbodor doesn't see me. That Garbodor terrifies me. He ain't shiny. I would have heard that. I would have heard that Sparkle Spark. I would have heard the Sparky Spark. But yeah, while I was shiny hunting, I was just kind of like yapping. Yeah, I was just kind of yapping about like, you know, I was just yapping about like legendary Pokemon, just kind of like ranting about why I'm like kind of negative towards a lot of legendaries. Got to Gen 6 actually, which is the appropriate gen. I think my issue with like Gen 4 and 5 was that they gave us so many legendaries that like it kind of just, you know, it kind of just felt like they were just giving like certain Pokemon, like did Heatran really need to be a legendary when that thing could easily be, you know, I just don't like how they just like give Pokemon the title, or like mythical Pokemon, like why is Zeraora a mythical? Why is Urshifu a legendary? Why is Heatran a legendary, you know? Oh wait, I was supposed to reset. Like, what makes those guys legendary? And what makes those guys legendary and not something like, I don't know, like what makes them legendary is like Mewtwo and Dialga and stuff like that. But yeah, my opinion on the Gen 6 legendaries. My opinion on the Gen 6 legendaries. Xerneas and Yveltal are pretty awesome. I think... Okay, I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here, but I just need to see... I just need to see the rest of these Pokemon. Just real quick, just real quick. Don't kill me, please. Oh. I don't know if I dodged it or not. Okay, no shiny. Oh, that was a close one shot. Bro scared me. I saw bro running. I was like, oh lord. I flinched. But yeah, like Xerneas and Yveltal are awesome Pokemon. Like those are the first like not version exclusives. Those are the first box art legendaries I cared about since like Gen 3, honestly. Xerneas looks majestic and Yveltal is just awesome. He's like Lugia's edgy cousin. Like he's like the cool cousin you see at the Thanksgiving get together. That cool cousin you see at the family reunion. Like that's how I feel about Yveltal. Like, you know that meme where it's like with the yearbook where it's like this person and the cooler person. It's like you'll have some dude named Derek and then the cooler Derek. That's how I feel about Lugia. That's how I feel about Yveltal. It's like you have Lugia and then you have the cooler Lugia. There's a Pokemon I didn't get to see if that was shiny or not. I just need to see. Alright, they ain't shiny. I'm risking my life right now. How come they don't attack? How come they don't attack you, sir? Why don't they attack you? I don't care if you give me berries. Why don't they attack you, bro? Like, that's not fair. I'm over here risking my life just to see an alternate colored Pokemon. You can just open up a shop in here and just be like, oh yeah, buy some berries. Like, excuse me? Rude. This is discrimination. I would like to speak to these guys' managers. Or whoever put them here. I would like to speak. I'm taking this up with the mayor. I hope we get to see the mayor in the DLC. Because they talk about the mayor, but we don't get to see him. How crazy would it be if it was actually Professor Sycamore who was the mayor? need to get out of here. You're gonna kill me. But yeah, Zygarde. Yeah, I love Zygarde. Zygarde is one of the, I think it's literally my 100th favorite Pokemon of all time. Like in my top 100, it's literally in the 100th place. But Zygarde, well, mainly the 50% form. I don't really care for 10% form. I don't care for 10% form, and I just don't. I really don't like. I'll be honest, I really don't like complete Zygarde. It just feels a bit much. I get the idea. I get the idea on paper, but it just feels a bit much. And then recently Mega Zygarde, I feel a type of way about it. I don't know. Do we really need to give Zygarde, of all things, a Mega Evolution? You know? I say you know a lot. And the funny thing is, that's something that my senior year English teacher would actually grade us on if we had to do like for our senior projects. Like whenever we would do our presentation, if we said you know, he would dock points because he was like, you know, I did it again. Because he was like, I know a lot of people like to say you know as like a filler phrase, but I will dock points because no, we don't know. But yeah, and then the mythicals, Diancie is cool. Like I'm okay with Diancie. Like it's an alright design. I do find the lore about it being like a mutated Carbink pretty cool. And again, you understand why it's a mythical, because not every Carbink will mutate into a Diancie, so that's pretty cool. You know? Because otherwise that would just be a regular evolution. Hoopa, I don't care for. I don't really care for Hoopa like that, and I don't like Unbound Hoopa. I really don't. I know a lot of people do, but I don't care for it. Also, hold on. Give me a split second, y'all. Alright, just making sure. Just making sure the chat's like good and all that. Because I've had that happen to me before where like someone was chatting to me, but then I just didn't know. Hang on, y'all. Alright, I'm back. Mom made me a burger. Alright, now I need to get out of here. Now I need to get out of here. Oh, I just realized there was like a little, See, I love this. I love this type of world building. You know, it's small details like that. I love that type of world building. You know, like kind of like how we use animals in the real world to advertise for things. You know, like for our cereal mascots and stuff like that, they do the same thing with their Pokemon. That's so cool. And like, you know, like how like if you're like in New York City or something like that, you would see like an eagle or like a lion on a manhole cover. You know, in Lumiose City, you see stuff like Greninja and Halucha manhole covers. Like, this is the type of stuff I like. It's those, like, whenever I say world building, I feel like people are, like, thinking, like, oh, yeah, you just want, like, this legendary, you just want, like, these, like, Pokemon mythology and stuff like that. No. Literally just simple, like, simple little things, like, how they incorporate, like, because, you know, Pokemon are a big thing in this universe. I like to see how they incorporate that into their everyday lives. I love that. Like, I love just, like, going into it. I love, like, looking at a city, and then I see, like, they use, you know, Applin. Like, there's, like, a berry stand, and they use, like, an Applin as a mascot. That's awesome. But yeah, back to what I was saying about, like, mythicals and Pokemon and stuff like that. Volcanion? I'm neutral towards Volcanion. On one hand, it's a pretty cool design. Like, I liked how it's... You can't really tell what it's supposed to be. It's like this weird, like, reptilian creature with, like, these natural, like, cannons that, like... They're kind of like arms that, like, lock on its back, and then they can separate it. They can separate the arms to shoot out, like, geysers and stuff like that. I think that's pretty cool. It's the first and so far only fire and water type. I think that's really cool. And... my only thing is, like... there's not much about it that really makes it interesting to me. And then you get to... then you get to Gen 7. Now, I know there's there's Type Null and Silvally. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about them being classified as legendary, but I guess they're legendary in the same sense that how Mewtwo is a legendary. So I can somewhat excuse it. Yeah, I can somewhat excuse it. But yeah, I don't know. It just feels kind of weird to call them legendaries. Especially when they don't really have legendary stats. And then there's the Ultra Beasts, if you want to call them legendaries. I personally don't, but there's some people that do. And they technically do kind of have legendary stats, I guess, so... and according to the game's code, they count as legendaries, so... I guess stat-wise, they are legendary. But I just kind of interpret them as Pokemon that come from different dimensions. That's really it. But, Nihilego, I love. It's one of my top 100. Same thing with Buzzwole. Pheromosa is also pretty cool. I like it, but I don't like it as much as Buzzwole. That scared me. Xurkitree is pretty cool. Another one of my personal favorite Ultra Beasts. Celesteela is alright. I'm kind of more indifferent towards it. Shiny... I think I'll end it after the sun sets here. Saying the sun will set soon. Y'all, I think I'll end it after that, but, Hey, at least we got a shiny. At least we got a shiny in this stream. But shiny, not shiny. Kartana's pretty cool. Like, cool concept, an origami swordsman. I think that's pretty cool. I don't care for Buzzwole. I don't care for Buzzwole. It's my least favorite of the Ultra Beasts. And then there's Solgaleo. There's Cosmog and Cosmoem, which in my opinion, I feel like Cosmog and Cosmoem just shouldn't exist. I get it, they're supposed to be they kind of just exist as plot devices to evolve into Solgaleo and Lunala. And that's kind of how I feel about them. But yeah, other than that, alright, it's about to be nightfall. But I do like Solgaleo's design, and Lunala's pretty awesome. Probably one of my favorite. I love Lunala. Let's see. Necrozma's pretty cool. I like base form Necrozma though. I despise everything else. Well, no, I like Ultra Necrozma a little bit more, but Ultra Necrozma is more of like... Ultra Necrozma is pretty cool. I like Ultra Necrozma, but I don't like Duskmane and Dawnwing's Necrozma because they look they're kind of mid, not gonna lie. They're pretty mid. Yeah, here. Oh no, don't tell me. Oh no, I can still go in there. Can I? Oh no. Don't tell me I can't go in that alleyway. You're not about to tell me I can't go in that alleyway. No, because it turned into a battle zone. That Garbodor's not there. Dang it. That's actually stupid. Okay, whatever. Fine. Well, that's going to wrap up today's stream. At least we got like I said, at least we got a shiny. So we can end it on a positive note. So if you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like if you guys are watching on YouTube. Subscribe if you guys are brand new to the channel and you enjoyed this stream and all that. If you guys are watching on Twitch, be sure to give me a follow, of course. And of course, there's also my social media in my Twitch bio or my YouTube description down below for those of you who want to follow me and stay connected with me on the other platforms. And yeah, I love you all, and I will see you guys on the next stream. But until then, stay chill, Army. Also, probably won't be streaming tomorrow because, you know, Thanksgiving for us boys in the US. So there probably won't be a stream since, you know, I figure me along with other people there's going to be a lot of Thanksgivingness going on. But honestly, we won't really be doing much for Thanksgiving, so it's not like we're gonna have like a lot of people over. So I might be able to sneak off a stream, but you know, I know y'all are probably gonna be eating turkey and stuff like that. So hey, eat while y'all watch my stream. You know, it can be a fun, joyous family occasion. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.